And then Rove just
Whitney
is just
Houston or
constant
something?
bagpipes.
Blaring.
just really loud bagpipes the entire time.
Just
Well,
the
we'll
Braveheart
see.
soundtrack.
We'll see what we'll see how busy I get. Maybe I can for sure write an instrumental piece. That would be easy.
Yeah, no, you don't gotta do nothing.
No, you don't have to like sing it.
But I mean, meanwhile, we could all
Right,
make
lyrics.
our own like character playlist.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like,
The
like
entire
real
thing is an
songs
opera.
that
Homework.
would be stoked on.
Oh wait, actually, I kind of already do. Here,
What?
I'm here. Let me.
I'm
Here
about
we
to
go.
get Spotify.
There's some pixel art in the Facebook chat, y'all.
Oh.
Here, I will show you Karn's playlist,
World?
which
Oh.
yeah, let me here, I'll post it in this chat and also in the Discord
Oh my
just for fun.
God, Noah.
I didn't have a lot of stuff to do during a project in Oregon.
What? That's so cool.
This was like, I had enough time to learn Japanese while I was on this project. It was terrible. I was just doing quality control. I was like checking wrench, like wrench tightness.
Wait, when was this?
Oh god.
It was like a couple years back. I did a Facebook project. They were
Wait,
swapping out
where'd
a
you
bunch of
post
lines. My only job was to do torque checks and fill out the documentation
Torque
saying like,
checks.
Twerk
Yes,
checks?
they've
That
installed
sounds
the
boring
thing
as
correctly.
hell.
Work check.
It was
So monotonous. But like it was
I don't
bend
do a torque
Oregon,
check.
so I hung out. Everything smelled of beer and pine trees. There was a dispensary like 2 blocks down from the hotel. It was way too good.
That sounds great.
Alrighty, boys. Welcome everybody. Glad you're here. I'm a little out of it, but I'm excited.
Oh, sick.
So can I
Alright.
ask, did we do a long rest at the end of last week or last time?
Well, yeah. Let's do a quick recap. So, obviously last time, thank God, we completed that Sahagin Temple. Jesus, but
We're out
you
of
know
the
what?
water.
It's
Pretty
okay.
epic.
It was epic. There's a lot of dying and almost dying, but you know what? You guys made it through. I'm proud of
Karen
you.
literally died twice.
I think Karn is the character that's died the most, but he's the only character that's died.
Yeah.
He's died
And
3
he's the only
times in this
character that has strong views on death.
I think at this point, all I'm doing is running over to Khan and doing like a fawn, just like bopping him on the head. And he's like,
Oh, you know, it'd be an
Again.
existential crisis for him. Like, what if somehow Karn came back as an undead?
I know.
would it change anything?
I don't know. I don't know.
Would he
I don't
like
know.
literally be the
Well,
exact
would he
same?
still have his paladin abilities?
I mean, I don't know.
Just
Undead
badass
Paladin kind of sounds cool, right?
What?
Anyways. What?
What?
Like black suit Spider-Man.
Oh, we have some news for you, Karn.
Right. Oh, by the way.
Wait, what?
No. Okay.
We have died again.
No, I know I
So-
died. I had to leave before the epilogue last time.
And then a dread orb happened to roll into your
Wait, are you serious?
Bender pouch. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I was gonna say like,
He's
did I
kidding.
get possessed or some shit?
No. So yeah, so y'all completed the Sahagin Temple and we're done, and it took way longer than I thought, and it's okay. So
Typical
yeah. So then you after you left the temple. Well, first of all, you also got what's called a shadow pearl, and you discovered that those potentially are what's causing this sort of darkness in the world. And you then went over to Rove's town, I guess. I don't know what it's called. Rove does. His home.
We're in the bay. We're out in the water. There's a ways.
Yes.
Maybe a bit further north than the Sahagin Temple, but off
We're
the
in.
Whitestone.
Mr. Rove got his artifact. So
Artifacts, honestly.
artifacts.
Oh yeah, I did
Yes,
see that.
he's got 2, and yeah, don't worry. Just because he has
That's
2,
the
basically, whenever he tries to use one, there's potential it can fail and do bad things. So
It just breaks, and I have to use an action to fix it.
Yeah.
It's like jamming. It's like a jamming rifle.
Yeah.
So
goggles.
yeah. So that's sort of where we ended. We just ended there because we were running a little bit late, I think. So
Yeah.
but that's basically where we ended. If I forgot anything important, please let me
Oh,
know. I mean,
Rourke
obviously,
has his eye back.
Rourke has his eye back. Y'all
Yeah.
killed the Baron. I mean, Yeah.
We got a second trident. So
That's true. Oh, you know what? I forgot to give the stats on it. Basically, I forgot to write it down so I could send it to you guys. Basically, it allows you to cast the spell Finger of Death. And there's only 2 charges on it. So basically you can cast Finger of Death twice. So if you just want to write that down or something.
Yeah. Honestly, guys, I'm gonna pop that in the bag of holding. I don't think I need to carry that.
Anyways, let's pick up there. So Rove, you've just been given your goggles and your jetpack from Mr. McCrude.
Can I make a slight aesthetic change to the jetpack?
Sure.
Maybe like a small of my back kind of thing. Like you ever seen Attack on Titan, Gabi?
Oh,
I have, but I don't remember it.
They have like this 3D maneuvering gear.
Okay.
There's like a couple gas canisters and these cool like vents that rides are like fanny pack area, kind of on the smaller back. It's just I already have a pack. So it'd be awkward to have,
however you want to make it work. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. However you want to make it work. Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So we'll just begin there. Basically, at this point, you're sort of leaving the city. The Selkies have offered to take you back to the land, riding on their orcas. Unless you don't want to go back to land, which I don't want to. Maybe Rove doesn't.
I don't know about you guys. I'm like,
Gabi.
I'm soaked to the bone.
Soaked to the bone.
I want to land in the sun.
My people's mythology have foretell of our return to the plane of our ancestors.
Ooh.
Like even I would like to go back on the line.
I would like to go back on the land.
I'm ready to breathe air for a bit.
So basically, as you're riding back on the land on these orcas, you excuse me, Rove. Rove. One of these Selkie grandmothers tells you that Wayla and the person that you slept with.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. That she and a band of her Selkies have traveled north to go hunting, and so she's not around to see.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. This is slotting into place pretty well. This is exactly as I predicted.
How many of the male Selkies made it out?
There was about 15 of them, so it was pretty impressive. You don't really see them. It's just the sort of the older matriarchal Selkies that are escorting you back. If you want to ask them any questions, you can.
I would love to ask them their insight into the emotions of a young pregnant Selkie. Ask them, I want to ask them basically, is it normal for them to be committed to a family, or is this normal behavior, her just kind of getting up and leaving to the north to go hunting?
She
Strange
says
cravings.
she says, "Oh, well, it's just her duty, to be honest. She's part of our huntresses, and we need food to survive."
Will I see much of her in my life?
Well, I do hope so. I'm sure she'll find you after she has the child.
Nice. Cool. Rove just nods. And then goes back.
Selkies do give birth much quicker than humans and humanoids, though.
Makes sense. But I also know that the Fae are known for not sticking around.
That's true. We definitely follow our own musings.
Not that I have too much of a problem with that, Not quite the life for a child that I lead. But I just want to know what I can be getting myself into.
Well, my boy, I applaud your asking.
Quite civil, you Selkies. I bid her a good day and go back to prepping our supplies for leaving.
Well, yeah, okay. So basically y'all arrive on land. By the way, I don't think I've mentioned this too much, and I think I probably should have more, but it is winter time. So there is snow. Yeah, there is snow,
Trench coat,
and
trench coat.
about maybe about a mile or so off of the ocean is frozen, and so
Oh,
yeah,
You
basically
mean like the like that part of the coastline?
correct. Like the
I mean,
water, the water's frozen.
We're literally getting direct water from like the frozen depths, or like the Arctic Circle equivalent of Tal'Dorei.
Hey,
Yeah,
Gabby,
yeah,
is
it's
it
cold
possible
here.
for you to pull up the map of the overarching
Oh,
land?
you know what?
I
I'm
was
not
just
even
gonna
on
ask.
roll 20 now. Hold on. Oops, fail.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We can
Yeah,
definitely do that.
the frigid depths are literally like maybe 100 miles north of us.
oh,
Yeah,
So
we're
it's
way out.
cold here. Whitestone is a cold place, and
100 to 200, yeah.
and these woods, especially like the last few sessions as you've been, well, not the last few sessions, but when you've been in these woods, prior to going to the Sahagan lair, has been quite cold and chilly, and a little bit of snow here and there.
Word.
Here, let me pull that up.
Hold it up here, ball.
There you go. So yeah, so as you can see, Whitestone is right up near the Alabaster
oh yeah, we
Sierras,
very
Bird.
north.
and it's chilly there. It's chilly
Frigid
there.
depths like
So,
starts right here.
yeah, it's chilly there. So anyways, yeah, you get back and you can see that it's white. The trees don't have leaves. It is very very much more snowy than you saw before, because you kind of came from the south, maybe like down here-ish. But now you're getting to be like up here-ish.
Maybe a wardrobe change.
I love the music so much. Maybe we can bring it down like 50%.
Oh yeah, of course.
I can barely hear it.
Oh,
Is it a custom thing?
well, that's
Yeah, actually, Gabi,
Yeah,
can you maintain it where it is?
I didn't.
It might be
I turned it down just a touch and I haven't moved it.
Huh.
Yeah, so everyone.
oh, it's coming through roll 20.
Really?
Sorry,
Why is it coming through roll
Or-
20?
you have a.
But yeah, there's music playing in roll 20 right now.
Oh, hold on. I'll stop that. That should not. God damn it! I
Okay.
hate that it
Oh,
auto. I
you
hate
might
that
have-
it auto starts. God,
yeah,
it's
that's
annoying.
actually a custom thing you can do, but
It's so here. There, it should have stopped.
Sorry,
Sorry about that.
Unders.
Sorry, that was me too. I'm probably picking it up over my mic.
Okay. So okay, cool. Yeah. So you have you have gotten you have gotten to the land, and it's just sort of there's not really a road. You sort of know that if you keep walking east, you'll eventually hit the Alabaster Trail, which is the only road that goes to Whitestone. But at this point, it's just you've hit just land. And after you walk, the Selkies bid you adieu, and after you walk across the frozen water about a mile, and you get to the land.
just Gabi real quick. I'm just gonna resummon my horse knight.
Sure.
Yeah, just so we have like a horse to help us out.
I'm just
Now I don't have to deal with underwater stuff for a while.
Yeah. So, anyways, so you as you arrive there, you can notice that the snow is probably about a foot or maybe a foot and a half deep. So it's and it's sort of like lightly snowing. It's really pretty actually. Very very beautiful. Very still.
So it's like up to my chest.
Oh.
Karn will like as Karn looks down from their horse as Kaz is treading the snow, just whoop, the horse.
We
Thanks,
can make
buddy.
snowshoes too.
True.
It's true.
Out of all of our leather harnesses.
Actually, so quick question: does anyone have any spare parchment that they're not using, or like any spare cloth?
I'm sure there's probably something floating around in the back of holding.
I keep a few pages at the back of my magic book.
Just because Karn wants to make a crude little banner with the symbol of the Matron of Ravens on it and attach it to their lance and sort of like hold it up.
Ooh.
That sounds like more of a cloth thing.
Yeah, cloth. That's what I'm looking for.
Do you think that's a good idea, marching into Whitestone? Declaring,
Ooh.
like, to have a Warforged declaring that allegiance in Whitestone?
That's very true.
And do we want everyone to know that we're coming, or would we like to be a little bit more covert about this?
Karn will look at you quizzically when you mention the word covert.
We're selling a ship there. Keep in mind. And two, I think we definitely want to stop by a post office to get a message to our crew to bring the ship around.
Yeah, I was gonna say which ship, the one that we lost, or the one that we misplaced.
The one that's like in the shop, but we also have the second one that we're selling to a shipwright up north.
I love your optimism.
Hey, dude, it's money. This is what I'm concerned about. All right, but yeah, as far as sneaking in, we definitely. I don't think we need to go through the front gates. I think we can go over the wall. And just.
Why are we
Over the
sneaking in the
wall?
Whitestone again?
What do we know about the?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, what do we know right now about the leadership of Whitestone? Isn't there something nefarious afoot?
Yes.
The Briarwoods.
They've been
Briarwoods.
killing off Warforged.
So
And enslaving Selkies.
Enslaving Selkies.
Or
So if we're thinking tactically and we're getting advantages, just waltzing in, announcing ourselves and not gaining tactical advantage wouldn't be to our benefit. So my friend, my Warforged friend, I think you're used to me being kind of sneaky and a little more covert, and that's nothing out of the ordinary. You would agree?
I do not wish to hide who I am any further.
Yes, and we will not be hiding, and we will be striking with authority.
does anyone have like an alter person spell or something that?
I have
Funny you should ask.
self.
I would love to take a long rest and make a dagger of alter self.
It's like throw it at someone, they just change into the person. Like, what the
Just
hell
need to hold it.
happened?
Just need to hold it. Just need to hold it. We can literally pass it around and go in as whatever we want. We could be like a group of troubadours. We could be traders.
Should make it like a scarf. Like
I think okay. So
Yeah.
I like
Cloak.
remind me of what we're actually doing in Whitestone. All I know is Karn's destiny lies in Whitestone due to
Yes.
vague
We're also
premonition.
looking for something. Looking for the leaves of the tree, I think. But
which is one of the
Yeah.
components to the cure,
For the cure.
for this
Oh, this
black
tree?
death or whatever.
This
Yeah.
tree?
Well,
that tree.
yeah, that
The
one.
Sun Tree.
That tree.
Like that
Nathan
one
leaves from
clip
that
of
tree.
Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street. It's like that one.
Yeah, we need clips of that tree. We need to potentially free some Selkies. We need to sell a boat. We need to sell a bunch of shit and buy some shit.
Buy a bunch of shit. Yeah.
I'm done with
Not
this leather
necessarily
armor
in this
bullshit.
order, right?
Yeah.
And try to avoid my mother-in-law, as I've been trying to do most of my life.
I mean, that's just given. Just always
It's number one,
avoid
yeah.
it.
And there's one more thing that happened a really long time ago that
Well,
I think
yeah.
y'all forgot about.
What's that?
So when you met a character named Victor, he hired you to find a man named Ariel Sharp, who used to be a part of this party.
Oh,
And,
fuck.
and Ariel Sharp was connected to the potential. Well, he killed someone that was of pretty intense influence, and he has been on the run. And he was when you were down in Stillben, you knew that he got on a ship that went to Whitestone.
Word.
So
Wait,
Kaz, you and him were homeboys too, right? You're on the same
Yeah,
ship.
more or less. I mean, that feels like ages ago.
It was. We've literally been doing this for over a year.
Um,
With
Yeah,
the
I
long
think at this
rests and
point,
stuff,
like,
it's probably real
yeah.
time.
Oh yeah, so let's why don't we rest? So let's do everything that needs to happen with that. So any kind
Alright,
of
and we gain a
downtime
level,
action.
right?
I'm gonna lead the party. I'm gonna lead the party off of the beaten path and kind of into the protection of the forest and find a really good spot for us to do our long rest. And then when we move forward again, I think I'm gonna try to push us towards not going by the road. I can get us to go at a normal rate of speed, traveling, and I think we should keep off the main road.
While we rest, Karn is going to make a banner of the matron of ravens.
Nice.
I'm
Do you
making
also
it
have
hard.
something for that?
Anyone else want to read a book or?
Gabi, I'm gonna store the spell Spider Climb in one of the daggers and slot it into my belt.
Okay.
Just store that in my eye.
Oh, God.
It's got to be a martial weapon.
Cool. Terry, do you want to copy any spells or anything like that?
I think there's like a couple more spells. Yeah, party items.
Gabi,
By the way, I found out that a couple spells that I told you a couple sessions ago were arcane, were not. So.
Okay.
All right, so I fixed that in the party items. So whatever spells you see under arcane scrolls are the ones that you have.
Okay. Levitate sounds like something that would be useful. I don't think I have that yet.
Gabi, this is my new loadout.
Yeah.
Just for
Oh,
FYI.
okay. Nice.
Yes, I'm going to attempt to copy Levitate.
And Levitate's the 3rd level spell, is that right?
I don't
I
remember.
think it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
If fly and levitate are the same level, I would.
No, you're right. Because I think fly is the 3rd level
Fly-
spell. Here, I'll just look at
Fly
it.
is way better than levitate.
Second level.
Yeah, levitate's kind of limited actually. You can
You can
literally go straight
levitate
up and
someone
down.
else, which is helpful.
Yeah, so that's why I think it'll.
Oh,
be
yeah.
useful.
If you cast it on yourself, though, you can control your height.
Right,
Yeah,
but
you
that's
can
it.
kinda, it's an elevator. Like
Oh yeah, it's a 2nd level spell.
It's
Okay,
cool though.
so,
if you do it like
DC 12, Terry. DC
like
12.
a little above the floor, you can just skate across.
Hey,
the
look
floor.
at that. You got it. You got levitate.
You didn't roll a 2 or a 1. Congrats.
Oh, do you get plus 10? Jesus.
+9.
Oh my god. All right. Well.
Look at the big brain on Risa. Just-
Dude,
Okay,
I'm in there like.
Her skull is like can barely contain the massive brain.
It's making me go a little crazy.
She's got a big head.
And that's,
She's gonna
that's
need a
all-
bigger
that's all I'm gonna
hat.
do. What's that?
Okay, that's all you're gonna do.
So you're gonna
Kaz,
need a bigger
anybody
hat.
else? Any other downtime actions?
Oh, actually,
Or anything?
I have something better. So Karn is going to actually listen and not overtly portray their allegiances, but Karn's going to use their blacksmithing tools to basically like forge like a raven on their shield.
Oh, that's cool.
Like a hammer and fine chisel.
Yep.
Get it?
But the thing with
Nice.
Karn is, as a warforged, their tools are integrated into their body, so it's just like hand just like swerves and it's just like hammer.
Go gadget hammer.
Basically, yes.
Word.
So yeah.
We should craft you a cloak.
Okay.
I know you're not feeling like hiding who you truly are, and I understand, I think more than most, the value of a synthetic being, in this world. But where we're going, it's not going to be very easy to walk around in the open. The things we want to do and to find your destiny, it's only going to be made harder if you walk so boldly about. I wouldn't think. Tell
That
me,
is true.
you spent time in a monastery, my friend. Is that correct?
Actually,
Or a
no.
temple.
My earliest memories was waking up in a mausoleum and then I
mausoleum.
proceeded to work for the groundskeeper of the graveyard of Whitestone.
By your theology or the way that you practice your faith, I am not a man of spirituality, but do you think that the matron would want her followers to go out brazenly or gaudily, showing off plumage or going so so ham-fisted?
Perhaps not. You speak true.
Although,
Perhaps a bit.
get into a bar fight, definitely ham-fisted is what we need.
Oh, sure. I mean, a bit hypocritical
Ham damage.
on my part.
Why do you keep talking about hams in the context of bars? I'm still confused.
Go Gadget Ham.
It's
I
been weeks
I
and
didn't
none of
even
you have
realize.
explained this to me.
I didn't even realize you might have a point there.
You know, and just not to bring this up, but you know, if our ship is in the shop and it got stolen by some nefarious people, that town is where the ham damage started. So let's not forget about that.
True. I
True,
gotta
true.
think though. We have a pretty capable crew at this point. I think if we wanted them to like get the ship a bit more north, the ship's got to be done by now.
How do we get?
We left Bruce in charge, right?
We did not. We have a bosun. We have a tiefling bosun now.
Oh.
How do we get word to our crew?
Post office.
Send a message.
Send a raven.
We could
Send a
offer
raven.
we
Send a
could
raven.
solicit the services of a divine priest who perhaps could send a message for us, or we can just use the mail.
Good. Gabi.
Yeah.
I've had this. I might actually be able to use this now. So the feat linguist gives me the ability to put code in lettering
Okay.
and like writing, so I can like make like I don't know codexes or secret language. And I've had that since level 3 when we got the feat. I think it's pretty safe to think that this rapscallion crew of the Drake's Reprise would have at least a code thing to communicate in a situation like this, where we're a crew. You think it would be fair to assume that I've taught this to at least some of the members of the crew?
What I'll say is maybe if you want to try and send it, you can try and send it and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Yeah.
when we get to access to a post office, I'd like to, when we're going shopping or something, I'll mention I'd like to stop by and send a coded letter. A letter
I
to
like
my
that you
mother.
just assume that there's a post office.
It's
It's
civilization.
gotta be a
They've
courier
had posts
system.
for a
Yeah,
while.
there has to be some form
I
of.
was thinking the exact same thing.
They're not completely
No,
isolated.
I'm not saying there is or there isn't, but I just love that you just assume. You're like, oh,
There
you're going
has
post
to
office.
be. There literally has to be.
Yeah,
There's got to be some kind of mail
there's-
system, or pay a courier. It's
Yeah.
definitely a mail system.
You there,
Magical
young
or
boy.
otherwise.
Get
I
this
am-
letter
I love
to.
Rose's optimism about the
Civilization.
the
I'm
infrastructure
civilized.
of
Civilized.
Some
Tal'Dorei.
backwater lake, I mean, it literally is a backwater lake, but
I would be- If
Debate.
anyone wants to join me in tracking down, some sort of a priest who could send a message via device.
Yeah, like a scry or something.
that would
Yeah.
be
Also,
cool.
Karn's going to approach at some point during a journey to Whitestone. Karn will approach. I think either both Ro and Risa, and basically ask if they have means of magically altering their form. So
Fuck yeah,
that,
bro.
because what Rove said rung true, and while Karn wants to lay down the law and do divine vengeance for the suffering of their people and the followers of their religion, Rove makes a lot of sense.
And Gabi, instead of spider climbing, I'd like to put alter self in that dagger.
Okay.
And
Sounds
then change out my spell list. But I'll send the spell list.
Okay.
If we can find a
Sounds
very low level divine spellcaster who could get us a animal messenger scroll, I could pull one of those Gandalfs where he was like up on the tower and he whispered to the butterfly and the butterfly went, and so we could do
Ooh.
something like that and get a message.
Mhm. Could
to-
literally send a raven.
Yeah.
do it. Actually, we could.
Yeah. The gobs.
So
Let's look out
That's only
for
a
a
first
bird.
level divine spell, which we just need a scroll of it.
Wait, sending?
It's called Animal Messenger.
Oh, okay.
So we need
sorry,
a
no,
scroll
second
or like a
one.
roll of paper.
I mean, I whatever, we could find somebody to do it for us, or I could do it if we had the scroll.
Dude, we could even I could do the magic message or like a magical picture ability. It gives like up to 25 words. But I can tap something and make it like conditional, or if somebody taps it, the message shows up. So you can make it like
Ooh.
spooky or secret.
Very fun.
That's cool. But also, I love how for Animal Messenger, the the components for it is like a small bit of food. Because imagine just like, yo, squirrel, come here, want some nuts. And I'll go tell him to go kill.
Nuts.
Speaker.
You send my message. I'm imagining Rourke like haggling with this squirrel, like.
All right, how many
What's it gonna take to get you out of here?
You
Like
one more
talking to
nut.
Bruce,
One
but
more
not-
acorn.
not anymore.
I
Alright.
need
It's my final
a
offer.
prototype fan.
So Gavin,
Alrighty. So
I want to travel around our camp and I want to find like really good food and make things really
Okay.
comfortable because I know we're about to undertake a really awesome trip here to go up to Whitestone and I want to
Yeah.
make sure everyone has epic rest. So
Oh,
I try
okay.
to provide a magical forest feast and nice fire and comfort for everybody for this camp.
We're still doing a long
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to
You
make a
wanna-
survival check? See what you can,
drink?
and then based off of what you roll, tell us what you create.
Yeah, let me go over to the come on. Let me see what I rolled. I rolled a 19.
Mm-hmm.
So I go and find like mushrooms and berries and things, and I create an awesome fire, and I put us up against the boughs of like an old tree that reflects the heat of the fire back on us, and I find like old evergreens that have fallen down and make like little beds and things for us.
We're very merry men.
I get some squirrels to do some
Okay.
improv.
And
So
Alright.
Karn will gaze upon all of this effort and work that Ruark went into to make this nice campfire in this camp setting. Walks to a tree, sits down, powers down.
Well,
Okay.
I
and
appreciate
and
the
you make some nice food. So so everyone go ahead and you can make an R&R check. So basically just Constitution check.
Add some- add the
you
last
can get
of the-
+2 to your roll.
Add the last of the wine to that, perhaps.
If you want to drink wine, you can add another +2. So we're gonna get +2 anyways. But if you want to drink wine, you can add another +2.
Might as well.
So
guys.
I guess I'll drink wines for what, +4 in total?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, same.
Is it Constitution check or save?
Just a check.
Check.
Oh my.
oh,
I did.
whoops. In
Oh.
that case,
Oh, natural 20. I mean,
uh,
well, do you have a
that-
con save
Very
bonus?
inspired.
I do have a
Alright.
con save bonus. Actually, I
Okay.
don't have a con save bonus. Oh
Well,
no, but
guess what, everyone? I think this is the first time that everyone is getting inspiration.
Oh, we're feeling good. We're on
Yay.
land.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
feeling really inspired.
Clothes are dry.
I'm not dead again and just ignoring the blasphemy
dead
of
again.
coming back to life.
Where do we
Although,
have
like,
to?
I guess technically in the world of D&D, like being revived and being undead are two separate things, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
You're living again.
Where do
I
we
mean, maybe
have-
Karn has some conflict with that. Who knows?
Well,
Um,
I mean, yes, there is some conflict, but like then there's also the fact that I mean, if the matron is the goddess of life and death, and clearly it's not my
Yeah.
time because I keep coming back.
honestly,
Coming back.
honestly, you're even more devout now because you're fulfilling both facets of your matron. You know?
Both
We've got
dead-
one foot on each side.
Yeah.
Deathliness
like-
is close to godliness. You know.
Yeah.
So
Anyways.
so then so everyone rests up and you're feeling really good. And you rest through the night. It's pretty uneventful. It's just a little cold, but the fire really helps you all just to stay warm and feel great and rest really well. And then you wake up the next morning, and the snow is still just falling really, really softly. Looks kind of like a Christmas card.
Could I have read a book, Gabi?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes. I finished on Raising the Mind. No one
Ooh,
else
nice.
can have it now.
absolutely, yeah. Anybody can read a book.
I got something after this, by the way. Can I, Gabi, can I retcon? This is I don't know how much of an ask this is.
Okay.
Instead of reading instead of trying to copy Levitate, I've a lot of my transmutation and sort of body altering spells are on myself, and I'd really love to expand that to being able to alter other people. So I was
Okay.
wondering if I can alter my disguise self spell, maybe bump it a level, but try to rewrite it such that it's disguised as someone else. So that its target is someone else.
Sure. Well, you can try. What would be the downside if you didn't do it? If you didn't make your check?
That just wouldn't work, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah. I'll come up with the DC, and yeah, you can go ahead and attempt that.
So,
Instead of trying to copy levitate, so that means you do not try and copy levitate.
Yeah, I'll remove
I think
that.
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so yeah, I'll get that out, and then so
I will tell you, it's not going to be super easy.
I got a 26.
Okay, well you made it. So yeah, so you can do that. You can cast that on other people then.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And that's it.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, and yeah, so then you all head out. So Ruark, I'm assuming you're leading the party, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Did you said that you were going to lead the party through the woods and not go to the trail? Is that what your plan was?
Correct. I can make it so that after 10 minutes of walking, difficult terrain is ignored and we can move at normal speed.
Oh,
and I can even sneak at normal speed. So I can move stealthily ahead of everybody. We can communicate with the hearing. And I just want to like make sure that we're taking the best path where we're not obvious and
Sure.
kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Sounds good. As you're traveling, everyone, why don't you give me a perception check?
Ooh. Gabi, I am I'm also wearing my new goggles.
Oh, that's true. You are.
With the gold lenses.
Okay. Awesome. So Ruark, as you're leading the party, you notice, well, first of all, you notice some footprints. First of all, you notice some footprints, quite a bit of like what look to be humanoid footprints. And you know, in sort of just in the snow, kind of walking this way and that, like a good many people. And
In the middle of the forest?
Yeah, it's a bit odd. And you also notice some tracks of what appears to be some sort of large canine creature as well.
Does the canine look like it's walking with like it's on a leash or something and it's being used to track?
Yeah, why don't you give me a survival check to discern that? No, all right. Well, you can tell that no, in fact, that this larger canine appears to have shown up sometime after these footprints, a few hours or so. The footprints look like they might have happened yesterday or maybe the day before, fairly recent. There's a little bit of snow that has filled each of the humanoid footprints, whereas not so much the large canine. Basically, you can sort of discern that the tracks of the humanoids lead in a certain direction. They lead east.
You said they lead east?
Or wait. Yeah. So wait. First of all, are you like which side of the trail are you traveling on? Are you traveling on the west side or the east side?
Probably the east side.
Okay. So then never mind. So they're traveling west.
Okay.
Towards the road.
Exactly, yeah. And you can hear Ruark as you just sort of, you wander just a little bit closer. You can hear the faintest voices, but almost talking in like a hushed tone.
I let the party know what's going on, and I let them know that I'm gonna do a little reconnoitering.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm assuming you want to sneak up.
Yes.
Karn, I want to pass the dagger to you and explain its function. If you hold it, you can use the spell Alter Self. It has 8 charges in it. So, he's in the bathroom.
Oh. So yeah. So why don't you go ahead and give me a stealth check, Ruark? Nice. Well, Ruark, it's pretty easy for you to be stealthy, especially in snow. Snow's pretty, this snow, because it's soft and powdery. It's not crunchy. You can see that there is a few men, maybe 6 or 7 men, and they are kind of perched in interesting spots on either side of the road. Some of them are in Some of them are in trees in little hiding spots. Some of them are sort of crouched and hiding behind trees, and you basically discern that on some level they're appearing to ambush someone that is walking on the road, essentially.
I take just a moment to dig my claws into the earth and start to feel, are they the only humans that are within 5 miles?
Only humans within
Humans,
5
undead, or
miles.
elves?
And undead and elves, right?
I can tell how many, what direction,
Okay. Yeah, so within 5 miles, they are the only humans, undead, or elves, yes.
Okay.
They kind of just look like bandits, basically.
Do they have any notable, badges or anything that I could?
No, they look kind of poor.
No.
They look poor.
Some typical highwaymen.
Basically, yeah.
But I think they might be like, do they seem to be highwaymen or more like hunters? Because it seems like maybe they're laying ambush for this beast.
Well, you're not sure. They just appear to be watching the road very intently.
Where did the tracks of the beast go?
Oh, good question. So the tracks of the beast, sort of, it looked like it was, walking around so it sort of looked like these men maybe had camp, somewhere, off the road for a bit. And the beast, kind of walked around the camp, and then the beast headed north.
Huh. Interesting. What do you want to do, team?
I say we avoid as much as we really can. We got some shit to do. We're not here to patrol the roadways. We're here to get some shit done.
Everyone
I
help?
agree.
If we can avoid them.
Is anyone curious? Are they planning on ambushing someone in particular?
It's true. Is there a way we
I
can
mean,
look
we don't
down
really
down
know
the road?
anyone up here.
I can watch them for a bit longer.
Yeah, actually, that might be nice. That's like
They just so you watch them for 20 or 30 minutes or so, and they just sort of hang out. You can tell by how they're talking that they just really want money, that they're really poor, and some of the guys have kids to feed and whatnot, and there's just not much.
Sorry about that, folks.
Yeah.
Something touches a little bit of something in my heart. I'm gonna sneak up and leave him some money.
Okay. That's nice. How much are you gonna leave him?
the money tree.
What the hell do I have?
A sleight of hand to pickpocket into their pocket. That's
I don't know. Let's say like 100 silver pieces.
Oh, that's nice.
Like lifting up my goggles, like.
Okay.
Maybe like a little bit of food, and like 100 silver pieces or something, and I'll put it in an obvious place.
Sure.
And sneak off.
Okay. All right. So you didn't really miss anything, Dylan.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yeah, you really didn't miss
Dylan.
anything.
I wanted to give Karn the dagger of altered self. There are 8 charges on it.
All right. Cool.
So decide how you want to look.
Let's see.
Like Shrek.
It's like I want to be a bigger Warforged.
What's Karn's human version, or I guess flesh version?
Like
if he was transformed into an organic being, what would he look like?
Did you say Shrek?
Yeah, exactly how I imagined it.
Let's see.
Does he just look like Mike Myers?
I was going with Henry Cavill, but I mean,
That'd be cool, yeah. And I think after Karn uses the dagger to use alter self on themselves, they're gonna have like a weird. I think they're gonna have some weird like reactions to being flesh and blood, and also because
Flesh and
now.
blood.
Well, I mean, yeah, and then
Oh, so that's why you're
quietly
doing it. Oh, okay.
and quietly
That's cool.
contemplates gender as they've never really thought about that before because they turned into a male presentation. And now they're just like, is this what it means to be male? Time to ponder gender while we go through this secret mission.
It's like, damn, this spells good.
Who's your donkey buddy? Which one of us is donkey?
Why am I Shrek all of a sudden?
Is he voiced by Charlie Murphy?
Are we having waffles?
Don't make me smite you fools.
So,
Argue
so
with my
anyways,
Bible.
as you can, so I'm assuming you go back and everyone continues on their path. So congratulations, you successfully avoided that. So yeah, so you continue northwards, and after a few hours or so, Ruark, you also notice, based off of everyone's perception rolls last time, we'll just use that instead of rolling again. You notice other sets of prints. This time, it's a little more. I don't know. It's a little more apparent because there's blood, and there is no humanoid footprints. There's just a what it looked to be like hoof prints, and you can also see the large canine prints as well, and they sort of lead off slightly to the east.
What are there any animals in the vicinity?
That you can see or hear.
Like birds, squirrels, anything?
I can check with my bio goggles, my green lenses.
There are some birds. There's some cardinals, but not much other than that you can see.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals and
Okay.
talk to one of the birds.
Okay.
Hello there.
Hey, Mr. Cardinal.
After you say hello, I assume.
I found some bird seed right here. Would you like to share it and have talk for a spell?
Hey,
George,
that sounds lovely.
munching bird seeds.
You're not going to eat me, are you?
Absolutely not. I want to ask you some questions.
Oh, questions. Well, can you leave the bird seed a little bit away from you?
Absolutely.
Ooh,
Here,
okay.
let me put it here and let me move back up to make you comfortable.
Ooh, great.
Okay, it flies down. This beautiful red bird with this little crest on his head,
Oh.
and he says,
Wow, this is delicious.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Hey, I noticed that there was a bunch of tracks in the snow and some blood, and I was wondering, my companions and I are traveling north. I was wondering if you could give us some information about what to expect or what's going on.
Oh, yes.
and he kind of gulps down a few more seeds, and he says,
Follow me.
and he flies off in the direction of the tracks.
And I follow and I say, hey, don't go too far because I'd like to share some more of this birdseed with you.
Okay, and he flies maybe I don't know, like 200 feet or whatever, and he sort of lands on a tree next to a carcass. And as you sort of get closer, you can discern that this carcass appears to be a large wolf, and it is obviously dead. It looks like it was very freshly killed, like within like yesterday. And it has these interesting puncture wounds on its neck and its abdomen and on its thigh.
Puncture wounds like from like canine sort of like two teeth?
I don't know. Do you want to make a medicine check? See if you can sort of discern.
And I'm using my scent ability. Does it smell like a normal wound or does it smell weird?
It smells like a normal wound, yeah.
And what check did you say?
Medicine? What did it? Medicine, yeah. Not in. Okay. Okay. Well, it's enough to discern it. It looks like rather sort of deep puncture wounds, and like sort of wide, like girthy puncture wounds of some kind. And you also notice that around there's a bunch of hoof prints as well. And the hoof prints sort of lead. Oh, go ahead.
You know, for my times hunting, does it look like something like a giant boar had like, gored somebody with its?
No, it doesn't look like a boar per se, but I mean, it might be. It looks like something you've never seen before.
Cool.
Yeah, and then the hoof prints. By the way, there's a bunch of blood around here too, and the hoof prints that are also sort of bloodied lead off slightly to the north, and you can sort of tell too that these hoof prints. It looks like this creature was limping. It wasn't moving very fast.
Can any of us fly really, really easily without wasting lots of spells?
I have a broom.
A broom.
Do you think we should do some aerial reconnoitering just to see what's around us as we're moving north? Or do we want to ignore all this and just keep going?
Unless there, could be, if there's a threat.
Rourke, Rourke, not too far from you, maybe like 100 or so feet. You can you hear a, and through the trees you can see sort of a horse. You can see a horse just kind of standing there. You can't fully see all of it. You can see that its hindquarters are definitely messed up. There's a lot of blood on its hindquarters, and it's sort of striking to you. It's striking to you, and as you sort of kind of get sort of a better view of it, you can see that it's a pure white horse, and it has a sort of sparkly golden horn coming out of the out of its forehead.
Can I tell from a distance if it's male or female?
You'll have to get just a little bit closer. It doesn't fully appear to see you yet or sense you.
I don't want to scare it, so I'm gonna kind of, in a gentle way, use some of my abilities to like approach it in the right way and be like,
sure.
Hello, beautiful, wonderful creature. You know, my name is Ruark and all that. Still doing the speak with animals.
Sure. But as this all happens, you sort of have a memory that comes up for you. And it was back when you were dating Aurora, who's now your wife. And at some point she had come to you and sort of grabbed your hand rather excitedly, and basically told you to follow her. And she grabbed your hand, and she's running through the woods, pretty quietly though. And she brings you to this beautiful meadow, where she's just sort of hunkered down in sort of this little hiding spot. And as you sort of look out, you don't really see anything. And after a couple minutes or so, you can see this beautiful unicorn that's just sort of walks out and begins to graze on the grass. And it's a mare, and with her it's a little child, a little foal. And something in your heart just feels really tender at this moment. And Aurora sort of looks at you and then looks back at the unicorn and smiles and says, all I know is innocence and laughter. And I just really want to just show you this. I've never seen one of these before, and when I saw it, I had to come and tell you. And again, this feeling of purity and just beautiful sort of childlike awe comes over you, and you can even feel your eyes sort of tear up at just the beauty and the energy. Really, it's the energy of this creature. It's very, very palpable. And
also, go ahead.
And after she looks at the creature, she kneels down before you and she looks up into your eyes and she says, Ruark, I love you so much. And there's nothing that I wouldn't do for you. And I really just can't imagine my life without you. And she pulls out her ring and she says, will you marry me?
Oh, damn.
Wait, she pulled out a ring and that's when she proposed to me, is what you're saying?
Yeah, yes.
Wow. And all this memory is crashing back, and then the family.
And obviously, we know what happened. And so this is crashing back, sort of as you see this unicorn. And as you get closer to it, you can see that it's a stallion. It's a male unicorn. And like I said, his hindquarters look like they've been bitten a lot. On his left flank, and he's limping as he walks. But you can also sort of see something behind him, like another form that's closer to the ground. And you're not quite sure what that is, but there's another form behind him. And as you get closer, he sort of senses that you're there, and he looks over to you, and he snorts a bit at you, and he stomps his hoof. And you can see that there's another horse behind him, but this horse is sort of lying on the ground. And as you get a different vantage point, you can see that this horse either looks dead or is not moving. It's just sort of kind of lying on the ground on its fours, sort of hunched up with its head just sort of down on the ground. And you can see that this is another unicorn, and that that same sort of feeling washes over you, this feeling of awe and beauty and love. And as you look at the unicorn and your eyes kind of start to tear up again, you can see that the unicorn behind him is missing its horn. And the stallion sort of kind of like snorts at you, but you can see sort of all around these two unicorns, there's a bunch of blood and whatnot, and it almost seems like he was trying to defend this other unicorn from something. So what do you do?
I am Ruark, friend of the forest. I just happened upon you and saw that you were in distress, beautiful, fair creature. I would really appreciate it if you would allow me to offer you and your other friend there, companion, whatever, aid.
Okay. Give me either a persuasion check or a handle animal check, whatever you want to use.
I'm also speaking, like literally using the spell, so
Sure.
we can comprehend one another.
Sure. Yeah. You can see it sort of thinking about what to do. Okay. He says, well, I suppose I do need some help. A wolf was trying to attack my beloved. I did my best. I have a scar.
Is your beloved okay? Is your beloved still with us?
He says, she feels warm still. Somehow she lost her horn.
May I help, please?
Yes.
Hey y'all. We have in the party items, we have a lesser restoration and greater restoration scroll. I also can do lesser restoration. What do we know combining our knowledge with how to help this creature? My Warforged friend. I'm gonna introduce you. Let's do our magic and see if we can help these poor creatures.
Tops, I'm gonna set up a perimeter. I'm gonna let them do their thing.
And
I also have lesser restoration as well.
I'm gonna let the party know about the wolf that could at any moment attack again. So maybe.
Well,
Wasn't it dead?
it's yeah.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah.
I had the puncture wound.
Exactly. Exactly.
That.
Yeah, he did his best. He really did.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Good point. So anyways, let's look at lesser restoration.
So, remind me what we're trying to restore. Are we trying to restore the horn that's missing?
Well, this creature's like dying, and I don't know. Maybe restore the horn if we can. I mean, that's
Actually,
pretty amazing.
Just
thing.
like not have them die, I think is the best thing.
That's a good start.
Well, maybe starting with a cure wounds, maybe.
well, I can also use
Yeah.
5 of my lay on hand points
There you
for
go.
stuff.
You have like 38 of those, right?
I have 35.
30, 35.
So I can cure the target of 1 disease or neutralize 1 poison affecting it.
Rourke, you can tell that the unicorn, because you can talk to it, trusts you way more than anyone else, and
So
is
I'm
really
gonna-
not interested in anyone else getting near it.
Dr.
or-
Karn.
Hey,
Right.
Karn, hold up 1 second. And I walk over to his beloved first, and I put my hand and do a cure wounds on
Okay.
that.
Okay. It's weird. You can. She doesn't really have any wounds on her, but you notice that it looks like her horn has been gouged out of her head.
How did your so I do.
But it also doesn't look like it looks like that's healed. So it looks like she's been here for a while.
How did
But
your
she's
beloved
still
lose-
alive. You can tell as you touch her that she's breathing. But it's almost like she's in a coma.
How did she lose her horn?
You don't know.
No,
He
I'm
doesn't
asking.
know.
No,
The
he's
unicorn
asking.
doesn't know. He has no idea. He just found her like this, and is unsure what happened.
Hey, Rourke, actually, I wouldn't hear about that. Never mind.
I wonder
No,
if that,
I'm communicating with everybody. Risa, anyone, how do we find this how do we find out what happened? How do we find the horn?
Do you want to ask your stallion friend if he knows of any other unicorn? Has this happened before to anyone else?
I obviously am talking to Risa, and then I turn around and relay the information. If my friend is really concerned, we'd like to help. And I ask the question.
And he says, "Well, sometimes we are poached for our horns, as our horns have very mystical and magical abilities. When our horns are removed, we don't necessarily die, but we remain in a limbo-like state. Our horn can be reattached."
What about those hunters that we were the ones who were laying the ambush? I wonder. Let's check for tracks around this area. Anything other than the natural tracks?
No, there's nothing. There's nothing except for horse and wolf tracks.
Did we hear how recently this happened?
It happened a few weeks ago.
Let's try to heal him a little bit, and then let me go back to the wolf that was like slain, and go check its body and see if there's like a horn stuck in it that broke off or anything weird.
So I mean, he tells you that he killed the wolf with his horn, and he was trying to defend his mare who was not able to defend herself.
Yeah.
And he killed the wolf.
Wound is healed, so I think the wolf is a separate event than the loss.
Exactly.
The horn was lost a little while ago.
Yeah, and
Or
if
should
it's
be
like
able
a
to.
week, I'm sure whoever took the horn is long gone by now.
Grove, how do we figure this out? How do we find and help this creature?
I mean, we could try to track down the horn in Whitestone. I mean, imagine that would be the closest city that they
Imagine.
try to either sell it
See if there's
or,
a market for a unicorn horn.
yeah.
If it's fresh, then track that down. If there's any kind of divination we can do, or that you're able to do, maybe. But
Unfortunately, such divinations are beyond me.
right.
I don't know the locate spell. I don't think I can learn it.
But he says, if there's any way you can fix my hind leg, I'd much appreciate it.
Hey, do you think that a lesser restoration would do that? Anybody?
Oh wait, actually,
It would remove a crippled effect, I think.
actually, hang on a second. I think I actually can learn locate object. Let me find that
Oh,
out.
be cool.
But this, I mean, I feel like this would be more of a, like, it's more of a regular wound that could
Cure
be cured.
wounds.
Let me.
So
let me.
you think I should just do a lay on hands on or cure wounds?
That won't
that would be
restore
Micos.
the horn though.
Yeah.
No, for the male. His
male.
back leg's messed up. His
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that
his
should
haunch.
totally work.
Would you allow my friend? He is a paladin, if you will. Would you allow him to heal you? My powers are starting to get wane a little bit. He can help heal you, and we would like to help you. May he approach?
He doesn't seem, you know, he doesn't seem. He seems very skittish.
Can I do an animal handling check?
Well,
Sure.
okay. Risa, may I borrow that wand?
I have a question. Due to my background as being a mounted combatant, can I like get some sort of bonus to this roll? Because it's a horsey. I'm good with it.
You're an equine expert.
Equine expert.
Oh,
Well, it's also a unicorn, so it's not just a normal horse. So I'm
I
going to
know, I
say
know.
no to that. If it was a
That's
normal
fair.
horse, definitely. But I'm going to say no to that. I'm sorry. What'd you get?
I got a 6.
Well, it rears up and it says,
Just-
"No, I will not allow him."
That's fair.
Risa, would you mind if
Can I
I
make a try? I can do cure wounds also.
Everyone.
The wand of healing, Rourke? Yeah, I'll flip it out.
Yeah,
I'll flip it out for my.
Let's just make this simple. I grab the wand of healing and I go over and give him a charge. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay. You can see that the wounds, as you sort of touch the wand, on him, sort of, begin to heal up. And what's interesting, Ruark, is you're starting to feel really odd. You're starting to feel like you're going to faint, and you're not sure why. And you sort of kind of wake up weirdly, with like yourself sort of hitting the ground, and like you're being dragged essentially. And as you come to, you can see that this creature is different, is very, very different, and your hands are stuck to it. Your hands are stuck to it, and its mane is growing longer and longer.
Oh fuck, dude, Kelpie.
Its mane is growing longer and longer, and it's turning into like a blackish gray horse, and its mane is pulling you up on top of it.
We've been had, guys.
And basically what the rest of you saw is the unicorn just blinked. Just blinked.
Oh shit.
How do you mean?
And Ruark
Blinked out of existence.
Yeah.
Like they both went away?
Like it used the spell blink.
This is what happens when you help people.
Gabi, if
Yes.
they're in the ethereal plane, I can see them with my golden lenses.
Okay. Yeah. So Rove, you quickly switch it over, and you can see that the horse creature is now roughly, I don't know, maybe 500 or so feet away, and it's running on the so it's a little bit further away than that because of where you are. It's like, I don't know, a couple thousand feet away, and it's running on the ice of where the ocean is.
Karn is going to mount up, pull Rove onto the mountain, and basically sort of go, point me in the direction.
Yes.
Okay,
Gabi.
so I'm assuming the rest of you just are trying
Yeah,
to
I'm
go over there as fast as
grabbing
possible.
Taz, getting on the broom and following right behind.
Let's go.
I mean, I'm gonna
this
jump
is
on
this is the
on Doug's
wrong crew to
Karn's horse,
punk, man.
What's up?
And so Ruark, as this creature sort of dragging you and pulling you up on its back, and you can see its eyes are turning red, and it starts to smell really bad. You can sort of hear in your mind some sort of like strained apology, and sort of it just keeps running over this ice, and as it gets to almost where the end of the ice is, it basically just stops, and as it stops, it releases you. You just go flying on the ice, and as you do so, you notice that your body is kind of stuck to itself, like your hands are stuck to each other and stuck to your body. and you're sort of just like lying there on the ice. And after about a minute or so, well, maybe not that long, maybe like 30 seconds or so, you can see something sort of in the sky. You sort of sense something in the sky, and you notice that there is something flying towards you. And as it gets closer, you can see it's in the form of a human, and it sort of just lands, about 15 or so feet away from you, and you can see that it is Imwe, your
Mother-in-law.
Your mother-in-law.
Fuck, I
Yes.
fucking knew it.
God
Yes.
damn it.
She's such a bitch.
And
So wait. So
And you
Gabi,
know what? I
sorry.
don't like her cooking either.
So Gabi, sorry. So he tried to heal a unicorn. The unicorn ended up being something different. The unicorn paralyzed him, and then got like basically a kelpie, dove into the water.
no,
ran across the ice.
Ran
Like
across, yeah,
ocean ice.
but left him.
left,
yeah,
well,
threw me
yeah.
off onto the ice, and then
Then the creature ran off to the north.
Word.
No.
Okay.
Undisclosed location. And you can also see Ruark, that around her neck she has like a necklace that in the center of it has a horn, just kind of going down between her breasts. And
Imre, we got to quit meeting like this.
Is Ruark still ethereal, or is he back in the material?
no. He's totally back in the. He's totally back in.
Have we caught up yet,
okay.
or?
So this is all. So yeah, I'll let you know when you guys.
Yeah.
catch
Okay. Cool.
up. You can also see Ruark that different from before. Her eyes are completely black and pupilless.
Like she's under the effect of that plague.
And she looks different. Like her skin is much more gray. And yeah, she looks strange.
I say, Imre, you look good. Have you done something different with your hair?
And she sort of half smiles. And she says, "Is there any need for pleasantries, Ruark?"
Oh, aren't there always? It's the spice of life. My most wonderful mother-in-law, who I love from the bottom of my heart.
And she says, "You jest in a time that is quite serious for you."
What
I
makes
know
you
that-
think I'm not being totally serious? I'm stalling for time. Come on, guys, get here.
Word. I'm Rudolphing on the front of Karn Forest.
Yeah, how far are we?
I must say, Ruark. Oh, one thing that you noticed too, Ruark, that I forgot to mention, is that she, right as she lands, she sort of waves her hands like this, and you can see that there's this small little bubble of wavy magic around you all. Anyways, we'll get back to that in a second.
Is it like a portal or something? What is it?
No, it's just like you can kind of see, you can still see through it, but it looks like it's like a dome. It's like a half dome of wavy magic around. It's like in every direction around you all.
Do I think in my head that I could do my ethereal step, pass into the ethereal plane, and escape?
Well, you can't move, so no.
You're still encumbered. Okay.
Yeah, you're stuck to yourself and stuck to the ground.
So I've got this ring of freedom of movement, and I've also got the abilities that normally I can't be constrained by things. So does that?
Well, it's a little different. I know what you mean.
I mean, I've also got like Misty Step, so I can like poof and appear at 30 feet somewhere else, like outside of the bubble. And I can do a lot of these things as bonus action. So I'm wondering, I'm not usually someone who just goes meekly. So I'd like to try to like,
Okay.
a little bit.
Sure. So what do you want to do?
I'm gonna Misty Step out of the bubble.
Okay. As you do so, a flash happens, and it's almost like the spell was canceled.
That's some
and
that's
she-
some big
No.
medicine there.
Imwe, I would get up to, say hello to you, but I'm kind of comfortable here on the ice. That's right.
And she says, I've come to admire the way that you love my daughter. It's not something I would welcome, but I'm
What?
grateful for it.
But loving your daughter? Yeah, I know that you don't really love anybody but yourself, Imwe. I get that.
And she
Jeez, pick a
says,
side, woman.
But that is where you're wrong, Ruark. I love my queen mother more than anyone.
I think you love power more than anything.
Hey, hold up. She said a queen mother, huh? Talking about
But
her
the
daughter.
Spider Queen, like
well,
Hulk.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
she
the one
says-
you smite, the one you punch.
She has offered you one chance, Ruark. A chance at something you might want. And let me ask you, Ruark, what is it that you really want? And then she waves her hand, and you can see sort of a vague outline, like a hazy, like illusion almost, like 5 feet from you. And you're not quite sure what it is, but then you hear, Daddy? And it's your daughter's voice.
Come on, dude.
And she says,
Imwe,
Daddy,
Imwe-
is that you? And then Imwe kind of like goes like this with her hand, and then the image goes away. And she says, you can have what you want, Ruark.
I think you mistaken what I want is I have like a tear rolling down my eye. And what I want more than my family, my wife, my daughter, or anything is for your evil to stop spreading across the land.
And she smiles. And as she smiles, you can sort of see figures kind of come up from beneath the ice.
Like undead figures.
Just like figures, and then you can see that one of them puts its face up right against the ice, and it begins to hit the ice, and then you can see all below you these drowned ones that you fought for. They begin to hit the ice, and she says, well, then you've just chosen your fate then, haven't you?
Damn.
I think that you've chosen yours as well, Emily, because you better be damn sure you know what you're doing, because I'm gonna follow you to the ends of the fucking planar universe.
And she sort of smiles and she says, we'll see about that. And then she sort of kind of leans her head back, and she screams really, really, almost like an otherworldly scream that
Like Sindel.
that sort of like penetrates your head. And as that happens, the ice begins to crack, just like basically everywhere
Can I
around
hit
you. And then she just begins to float away. So anyways, cut to everyone else.
What a bitch.
You can
I
sort
know.
of, Rove, you can see with your goggles, trying the different ones. You can, as you
Got
do
my
the
blue
magic
from
ones,
binoculars.
yeah, as you do the magic one, because at first you don't see them at all, but then you do the purple.
I'm just
one,
like scanning through. I'm just like
you see
flicking through.
magic, and then you can see that there is like a magical dome, and you're like, oh, that's where they are. So you guys are running over there. You can see you can tell as Imwe sort of floating away up into the clouds, and you can see Ruark, and you can see that this ice is beginning to crack under where you all are and where Ruark is, and you can see underneath you these drowned ones sort of kind of hitting the ice as well.
So question, do we
okay,
ever
guys,
actually
if
see
you can-
Imwe during any of this?
So you, as you're running through everything or flying or whatever you guys are doing, yeah, you definitely see her.
Is
Absolutely.
she within 90 feet of me?
No.
She was
Dang
in
it.
120 feet.
So she's kind of far away, but you can
Is she
sort of
perceptible to
gather
the-
that it's her based off of her hair. And her
Right,
cheek,
I'm just
skin
asking
color.
because I wanted to cast Hunter's Mark on her, so I have advantage on
Oh
tracking
shit.
her.
She's
How far is she?
by the time that you guys get to where the ocean, or to like half a mile from where Ruark is or whatever, you can sort of see, well, maybe not that far, but like about 500 feet or so, you can sort of see that she's already floating up.
She's
Yeah.
gone.
Okay.
But
Keep going.
check it out. That gives me a good idea. I'm not within that great distance, and I also have Hunter's Mark.
Ooh.
I'm actually
man.
pretty close to her.
Can
So
you cast Hunter's Mark while you're paralyzed, or?
Well, he has bring a free movement.
it's verbal only. The component. I've been talking to her, and it's a
Okay.
bonus
Yeah, you
action.
can cast it then. Yeah, you can
Yes,
cast it if it's
yes.
verbal only. But like,
Yep, we're doing it.
Try. We can try.
We can try following her.
If I cast it as a spell slot later, a third level spell slot, we could actually track her for up to 8 hours.
Ooh.
Is that worth it?
Question: do we want to track her?
Potentially. I mean, there's the ice is currently cracking, so mounted combat's probably not the best.
I would ask our amphibian
our aerial.
friend to cast water walking on me so we can run on water real quick.
I do not have it currently prepared.
Damn it.
But we could just use our broom friend.
Well, I don't know if the broom can carry all of us.
Gabby,
just need
second
to-
level first level Hunter's Mark on her.
okay.
And just as soon as I'm in range, I'm gonna cast Bigby's hand to hold up Ruark.
There you go.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay, sounds good. So basically what you're gonna have to do is, with the exception of Risa, because she's flying, everyone else is gonna have to make some sort of athletics check. And it's just gonna be a skill challenge, basically. And
Athletics, you say?
Where are we going? All right.
Away from the breaking
someone
ice.
has to try and pick up Ruark and get him.
Me.
But even the rest of you, the stuff is cracking underneath you, and so you're gonna have to try and run off of it before it.
All right.
Cracks.
Okay.
So Karn's gonna go for the save on Ruark.
Okay, so Karn's gonna do the save. So
And I'm like actually riding on like in back of Karn.
No, I thought I picked up Rogue
Pick up-
and
pick up
Kaz
me.
is on
Yeah.
the broom.
I'm
Oh,
going to
okay.
cast
That's
fly though, Gabi.
Okay.
So don't worry about me, guys.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go try and grab Mr.
Okay, so
Just to
I
get
guess
that.
Karn, it's just you. You're the one that gets to do the skill challenge.
Ruark is on my hand.
Bigby's hand, yeah. So
Yeah,
Karn
so
just
yeah,
needs to
Ruark's
run.
fine.
But we still gotta like grab him and like get him off the ice, right?
Bigby's
I
hand.
love
It's a
it. I love it
broom.
when Lisa
Oh,
takes
can you
me in her
control, like-
gentle grasp.
Can you control like basically can you move the hand around after you cast it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. We'll
There's a
just
thing I can.
leave. It's like oh.
Yeah, who's in my
Super
command?
mage.
Yeah, so I'm just picking you up.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay,
just
so
leave.
Risa is just saving Ruark.
Yep.
Cool. Well, that makes it easier. So then, Karn, so if everyone else is flying, Karn, you're just gonna have to make basically a skill challenge, an athletics check skill challenge, just to like make sure you get off the ice. And
Question: do you want me to do it or do you want my horse to do it? Because I want my horse currently.
Ooh, so if your horse, it'll be different for whatever you choose. So
Well, I want if I get to choose, I want to do it.
yeah. Okay. So why don't you roll athletics a few times?
Right. So,
And you're gonna have to get let's see. Let's just do a simple one. Just three successes before 3 failures.
sounds good. First one's a 17.
Okay.
Second one
That is a success.
is a 24,
Okay, that is a success.
and the third one is a 21.
Okay, that is also a success. So Karn, you do make it off of the ice just before some of the ice begins to shatter, and the drowned ones begin to come up sort of out of the water. They're still sort of trapped because they can't really climb onto the ice. So they're kind of stuck there, which is great. But you do successfully make it off of that place.
Okay.
How's that
Nice.
Hunter's Mark working out?
Good question.
So here, I'll actually post it in chat so we can actually know what we're doing. Oh wait, that's cure wounds, not
Yes, it is.
there. There
Thank
we
you,
go.
but-
That's the right one.
Bird.
Cool. So
So we have bonuses to basically tracking her.
Nice. Gabi, I'm switching over to the golden lenses. So even if she goes
Okay.
ethereal, we'll have a beat on her.
okay.
During
good.
this entire escapade, Karn will learn that they need to learn how to fly.
Because
Yeah.
apparently everyone at some in the party can fly.
Well, once I
Okay.
get access to wait, there's a spell called Find Greater Steed. Once I get access to that, then all of my problems will be gone.
Are winged boots an uncommon object?
Well, the problem is I would like to fly with my mount.
Ah,
You need
true.
a Pegasus, dude.
Wait. She's ethereal and she's starting to take off, right? That's what Imway's doing.
Well, she's very much in the clouds. You can't really see her anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might as well. Next time, y'all. She wants to drop by and play her fucking mind games. I want to check up on my boy Roark and make sure he's good.
Can
Yeah,
we
he's got this
hear
sticky
evil
stuff.
cackling as she's leaving though? Can't we follow the evil cackling?
She's not cackling.
Okay. She's GTFO. Another time. We're gonna have to get another time. So obviously planned. She obviously wanted to show up. Like, is the other unicorn still back in the glade, Gabi? If we were to go back there.
Yeah, do you want to go back there? See?
Is Rourke still encumbered?
He is, and it just kind of takes some, it takes like some soap or I don't know, whatever you guys have on hand to kind of just like get it off, and it's just like this weird, like sort of sticky substance that kind of does come off with time. But yeah, you can get it all off. Yeah.
I use my jetpack to like steam clean Rourke. He's like all fluffy and shit.
So but as you get back to see the other unicorn, you can see that she's still there, and you can see that the male unicorn is also there, and he looks up at you all, and he has tears that are sort of rolling down his face.
Mm-hmm.
What did she offer you? Oh, Rook, you might be done.
We're gonna keep our distance. Let him do the talking.
Yes. I'll give you a chance to speak, Mr. Unicorn. Please.
Okay.
Explain yourself.
Okay. He says, "Forgive me. I'm so sorry. Somehow she's able to control me and turn me into this monster."
Jeez.
It looks like our fates are intertwined because your lover's and mate's horn is on the necklace of my mother-in-law, who is an evil fucking bitch, who is trying to destroy and literally, truth be told, take over the land with her delusions.
Well, I would be so grateful if you could return that to me.
Yeah, and I would be grateful if she was stopped and didn't, destroy the entire world as we know it. So, seems like we're kind of on a similar parallel paths, for the time being. Do you think you can refrain from falling under her spell? Do you think you can fight it next time?
I'm not certain.
Did you have to roll any dice?
Rook, maybe you could ask your friend, how did he know to grab you in particular? How did she know to arrive at that moment? Can you do it again? Can you call her?
He says,
go ahead.
He says, I didn't call her. I felt this strange compelling and this odd fear for the rest of you that I no longer fear. I guess now I might realize that that was a magical influence of some kind.
Oh.
And so, forgive me, I'm so sorry.
Forgive you.
I thought it was my instinct, but I don't think it was, because I don't feel that anymore.
Oh, so we cool now?
Why don't, is there a way that, we could he carry his lover?
Karn is actually going to lean into Rourke and just quietly ask, do you want to ask them that in penance for their crimes they can be used as my mount?
No.
That's too bold. That's a
fair.
little much to ask.
Karn, I have never known.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
It's a little, you're literally asking like the most honorable of creatures to carry you on his back.
Yes, as penance for their crimes against us, as form of redemption, they can serve us in righting the wrongs of this world.
I mean, as long as you don't ride near any frozen lakes.
Put it as serve, that feels manipulative, and being that doesn't feel right. How about we ask them to join our cause?
That's fair.
We're
Karn just wanted a really cool like
I've never
unicorn as a
seen
mount.
Karn look abashed before, and and so like I'm actually like I'm taken aback. Like I step back. I'm like, whoa, all right then.
Can he blush?
And you know, he hears all this going on.
Their face just gets warm, so it's just heat
Heat metal?
discoloration. Yeah,
Heat metal?
Yeah, it's like, ooh.
don't touch it. You will burn. You'll get a second-degree burn at least.
Yeah.
And he looks over to you, Karn, and he says, well, he says to Ruark.
No.
Yeah. He says to Ruark, our kind are not used to being domesticated. And it is rather difficult for us to do that.
I would never ask that of you. What I would ask is that you travel with us to Whitestone, because I think Answers and your mate's horn will probably follow that trajectory.
And he says, under normal circumstances, I'd love to. In fact, part of the reason I'm here is to protect these forests. And he looks down at his mate and he says, and that's why she was here too.
Let's bring her with us. Let's all go together.
And he says, but how will we carry her?
Flexes.
Carry a unicorn. You could rig up a cart, Gabi.
Okay. All right.
They did it on One Piece.
True.
If we did a cart and then he could pull his mate.
Well, we can do. Wait, it's snowing. We can make a sled.
Literally. There you go.
Yeah.
Gabi.
Okay.
Some blacksmith, crude black. Don't even need to do woodworking. We just chop down some trees.
Okay.
Do some blacksmithing.
Just drop down.
Iron bands on
Okay.
there.
You'll basically probably need to realistically.
Let me use it for something.
I mean, you don't need a sleigh. You just need like I don't know, even like the
Like smooth logs.
Yeah.
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 We're gonna make a
basically,
toboggan, Gabi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you basically need to do another long rest to make that, which is fine.
We'll alter Self Karn's hands into saws, and he can.
Well, like literally, I have integrated tools in my body for blacksmithing, and there's a sharp implement in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm strong enough that I can cut
proficient
down
with
a tree,
blacksmithing,
probably.
Gabi. So the work
Okay.
cut in half anyway.
So yeah, you sort of make a really basic makeshift something that can
Doesn't have to look
do the
pretty.
job. You know,
Yes.
it might not. It might eventually
Sturdy.
break or something, but you know, they're made
True.
it out of bark and.
We're
Oh,
not
wait.
proficient
I
in
mean, it's not gonna
woodworking,
hold up
true.
if it on a gallop, but
Yeah.
Oh, I just had an amazing idea.
Good idea.
So, the evil lady had the unicorn horn, right?
Did you?
yeah, I don't know.
on a necklace.
Did Karn see that?
Maybe not because that was kind of far, but
Ruark
Ruark,
would've
I'm
seen
sure
it.
would have told you everything that he saw. So
Okay,
He's checking out
because
his
if
mother-in-law's
we're taking
pit.
a long rest, I'm going to prepare locate object.
okay.
Nice.
And what does that do?
Here,
I mean, I assume it locates an object.
describe. Basically, I can sense it if it's within 1,000 feet of me.
Okay.
And
It is-
if it's in motion, I know which direction it's going.
It is not within 1,000 feet.
I'm not casting it. I'm just like
Oh.
I'm just preparing it.
Oh well, now you
Since
know.
I figured we're doing a long rest.
You can
Is there
only
any
assume it's not.
insight into my bitch fucking mother-in-law's eyes being a different color and everything? Has she changed from like I don't like undead, right? Has she changed from a drow?
She still looks like a drow elf, but like something, you're not sure. Something was very different about her, and it was very off-putting to you. It was not, she no longer looked like a dark elf, if that makes sense. She looks, yeah, so something.
Did I detect anything in the undead category?
Well, you didn't do that thing, you know, so you wouldn't know.
If you didn't think of it then, you can't think of it now.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you didn't. So, she didn't look right. That's all I'm gonna say. She looked really. Someone was wrong. Someone was off.
Someone was not right about that one.
Is anyone else kind of confused about what the rest of the ghosts of the Saltmarsh or like how they fit in? All I know is there's a disease. There's some ghostly people that definitely have to do with it, and the Spider Queen. But I'm not sure if they're the same people. Is that normal?
They're trying to turn everyone into undead across the whole entire world.
Right.
Wait, I
but
thought the
scared,
Black
like-
Tullian just killed you. I didn't think it turned you into an undead.
Well, there were those people with like the tentacle mouths and stuff. Whatever it does, it kills people en masse.
Mhm.
It rids the world of the living. Whatever
We're
happens
basically
after
playing
it is
Resident Evil right now.
bonus.
We're
But-
basically playing Resident Evil.
But is there anything beyond like just understanding that? Because we ran into like ghost versions of people that we'd run into before, and they were pretty insistent on not being the same people that were in Stillben. And I'm confused about that. And
So
I'm making
Oh,
sure
it's
that
so
that's
long
like
ago.
the way I figured it out is that we started out in Stillben and we basically uncovered this like continent-wide conspiracy. And now like we went from like small town heroes to trying to save the fucking world.
right. Mhm.
It is our destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
So far, Scarin the Butler is an obvious suspect.
Yeah.
Rurik's mother-in-law, and
They were
potentially
working
their
together, if I
ghostly
recall.
counterparts.
Yeah, that's correct, Terry.
Yeah.
What
Also,
was
by
that,
the
Terry?
way, just for reference, everybody, after we've long rested with all of the boys, I got myself locate object as well as zone of truth. So you know.
Nice. Gabi, can I store a dagger of spider climbing?
Yeah.
Awesome. Dagger of spider climbing.
And
Free wall
basically, as you're resting, the unicorn introduces himself. He said that his name is Aladrin, named after the elves that live in the Feywild. And he basically asks, you know, through Rurik, he asks all of you to come and touch his horn that he has a blessing to give you. Basically, you know, I'm assuming everybody does. But basically, you all get basically what's like a charm, but it's basically the spell bless, but just for yourself. And you can use it at any point; it never expires, except for after you use it. So it's like a one-time bless for like 2 minutes. So everybody just gets that. I don't know what you want to call that, like
You
unicorn
get
blessing.
pleasure from us all touching his horn. That's what I'm just wondering.
While Karn's interacting with the unicorn, Karn's gonna attempt to basically get on the unicorn's good side. Just be like, hey, so you want to go smite heretics with me?
Okay. Okay, give me a handle animal check.
Hey, girl. You want to go smash the patriarchy?
So I hear you like
Smash the
I
patriarchy.
hear you like holy thing.
Okay, not bad.
Okay, Karn. The Aladrin's warming up to you a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah, Karn's just like basically like you know like just like, hey, I noticed you're a little like tangled up. Let me just brush that mane of yours. Like, oh,
yeah,
here's
he
some
appreciates
nice
that.
oats for you. Like, yeah.
Oh, he really. Oh, okay. He's really gonna appreciate that. So, anyways, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to do. I want a unicorn as a mount, Annie.
Trying to woo the unicorn.
Basically, yes.
That's okay. Okay.
Can I try to
so-
do another R&R check since we're long resting?
Yeah, I suppose. Well, do you want to drink a glass of wine, or do you have any wine or anything?
Hey, dude.
sort of to-
If it's been dawn, I can summon 2 gallons of wine at a time, or a gallon of wine at a time.
Yeah, I'll take
Jesus.
a
As long
I'll
as
take
you drink a glass of
yeah.
wine, that's fine.
I will take a gallon of wine,
Okay.
please. I have no liver.
You can have 2 glasses.
I have
You can have
no
3 glasses. A lot.
No, not
Gallon
glasses.
goes a lot.
Gallons.
Yeah. Yeah. Then go ahead.
Alright.
Go ahead, Kaz.
Cool. All right.
Sweet. Cool. So then basically, y'all get off moving the next morning, I'm assuming.
Wait, is that a success?
Oh, sorry.
17.
Oh, that is.
Although I don't know why it keeps adding. I don't know why it keeps adding one to that roll.
You still made
or
it.
I'm confused. Okay.
Yeah. it's
Anyway.
fine.
So it's a yes.
Yeah.
Success.
Yes.
All right.
We could each
Cool,
have
thanks.
21 glasses of wine.
There's probably diminishing
We
returns
can.
at some point.
Yeah. All right. So So you head up. You head north. The weather is still pretty nice. It's pretty beautiful. And basically at the evening time, you can sort of see. Well, at some point you actually have to go on the road because there's like these mountainous rocks, as you can see on the map, sort of like come up, and you just like kind of have to go on the road basically. But you can see the city of Whitestone ahead of you, and you can see that you can't really see the city. That's a lie. You can see that it has these large, sort of 50-foot tall, like this wooden wall, and a large, large wooden doors. That are closed that the trail leads to, and you can see some guardsmen up top in some watchtowers.
Nice.
And you can hear there's a lot of bustling inside the city. It's quite loud, but that's really all you can see right now. The doors are quite impressive. They have these beautiful. This beautiful tree carved out of silver and white stone. That's just very ornamental and beautifully done. As you all sort of approach, one of the guardsmen yells out, "Hi there!"
We ain't approaching.
Yeah,
Oh, you're not. Okay, sorry.
We ain't approaching.
So then what do you do? What do you do?
Karn will clutch the dagger of Alter Self and change themselves into a human shape.
Okay.
Before we do this, do we even want to go in the main entrance? And how is bitch? Is she scrying us? Is she using some divination magic? And how do we counteract that? Like we don't. I mean, we're just like sitting ducks right now, always.
Well, here's the thing: the guards may not be in on it.
Guards are probably not in on it. I'm sure she could find us.
they're probably just underpaid and bored and cold.
I'm sure we could all pass around the altar self dagger and make our way inside. We could wait until night and pass around the spider climbing dagger and just walk over the wall.
Or we could like
Naruto it.
fly all the way to the palace, and up and over all of this stuff and like land right next to the tree. and be
Actually,
like, what's up, bitches?
can I? So Karn's from Whitestone. Can Karn do a history check to see what, just to discern like what they remember as the defenses of this place are?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, yeah.
Also, what kind of races are going in and out of the city, Gabi?
No one's going in or out.
No one's going in.
No, not that you can see. No one's going in or
Karn
out.
really only knew the the graveyards, so Karn's not very familiar with stuff apparently.
Karn
So-
only graveyard.
If we're out,
Yeah,
we have like
Karn,
a max distance
Karn,
of
you were a
2 miles.
secret. You were a secret. You basically hung out in the mausoleum and then you snuck out of the city when you left. So you've heard things, but like you haven't really seen much other than the mausoleum, which I believe is in a place called is it the Greyfields, or was that a different?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Greyfields.
where my old man who took me in was my best bud.
So what about like flying in while being invisible?
We could totally do that. I could make a dagger of invisibility too.
I
We could walk in.
feel like it would be. So Karn remembers hearing about this thing called Arkham's Razor.
Occam's razor?
Occam's Razor, sorry.
Arkham's Razor is very cool too.
But it's
Different
the
use.
philosophy that, well, I mean, actually it's not really applicable in this case, but the idea of being like, perhaps the simplest solution is the best one.
Yeah, just an alter self and
So
walk right
flying
in.
in invisible and landing next to the tree is the best one, you're saying?
I feel like if
Karn
no
is
one's
just gonna like pat like Rourke on the back and go,
if no one is going in or out, then we're gonna have to answer questions either way. I think it's
Yeah.
just simpler if we can just go in either invisibly. Scotty,
Also,
are the gates
is
open?
No, the gates are
unicorn following us?
closed.
Is the unicorn following us into Whitestone, or did they? Or is he just like, I'm gonna chill out here?
He says he'd rather not go in. He doesn't want to be around a lot of people because he knows he'll attract a lot of attention, and he's
right.
Doesn't want to
so
be
he's going to stay with his
So
his
he wants to go like hide somewhere with her.
He doesn't want to die.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Fair.
Lisa, what do you think about this? What in your wisdom? What do you think? I mean, we know what's going on. We know that we need to get into that tree. You're like our witch friend. What do you think?
Which?
So,
Which friend?
By my understanding, if your mother-in-law has the ability to track us, she could probably track us while we're invisible. So that's not going to be that's not going to get us any far. Would you agree?
Probably.
So I like something that keeps us low to the ground and not being swatted out of the sky. My instinct is spider climbing over the wall.
Word.
That would be my vote. I'm not a tactician though.
I like sneaking in. I like the idea of sneaking in. Why don't one of us change form and go up and get information from the guards and be like, hey, I'm a traitor. I wanted to go in.
I mean, Karn will just first off look at you with their now human face and go, we literally have enough stuff to pass as traitors pretty easily.
So
Karn, what do you look like?
So Karn
Shrek.
looks like
Looks like
so
Shrek.
human, sort of a stern face, stubble, like very like dark skin, bald, like
Ooh.
sullen eyes. But like
Mm.
for some reason, like their pupil is still red. Can't hide that. So very like red. Like
Okay.
If
look
Vin
just as,
Diesel was
like,
a Terminator.
creepy as a
If
human
Vin Diesel
as
was
they
a
did
Terminator.
as a Warforged.
Sounds like Karn is volunteering to go talk to the guards for us.
The clothes. Give me them.
Karn.
Yeah, Karn will
Feel
go.
confident sweet talking these or pulling a fast one on these guards.
Well, that's why they call him Silver Tongue Karn.
They do call it, yeah.
I don't think that's why.
I tell you, it's made of steel, not silver.
We could, or we could send.
Chrome
could
plated,
send-
though, right?
Could send someone of the fairest sex to ask if you can enter the city, or like why the doors are closed to outsiders.
Oh, so we're saying Karn should change into a woman now?
Hello.
Listen,
I'm just gonna,
No.
unless let me just go talk to them.
Word.
I can say that I am in charge of guarding a caravan that seeks entrance and wants to know what the situation is.
If shit goes wrong,
I mean-
we'll just sneak in.
Or
Yeah.
we could
You're
send
from
somebody who
Kimmel.
has actual like people skills.
Just send them in, guys.
I
Let's
like
throw a
looks
second
Karn
half.
is
like
affable.
stares at Kaz.
All right.
say you're from like Kimmel or somewhere that's like totally different.
Fuck, say you're from Stillman. I don't know.
No. Nothing that would lead to us. And then we'll listen in with the earrings. And yeah.
Captain Kaz, do you want to come with me to go talk to the guards real quick?
I mean, yeah, I'll come. I'll back you up.
Let's
Kaz,
have Kaz not look like Kaz though.
I can
Yeah,
make you a
yeah.
dwarf.
Right, you could literally use the dagger. Free
Yeah,
spell.
Use the damn
passes you
dagger.
the dagger of Alter's form.
I'm
That's
useless.
literally what I made it for, guys.
Yeah.
It's good for an hour concentration.
I mean, Karn's
Alright.
already changed, so just hands the dagger to Kaz. Go knock yourself out. But actually don't, because that would make this plan really bad.
Yeah. Okay. I'll.
Change yourself into a child.
No. What? Wait.
You
I can
can
be
change
taller,
your-
right?
Can you change your
Yeah,
size?
change yourself.
Wait. Yeah.
into
How
a
does
child.
Where's the spell in the chatter now?
You assume a different form. When you cast a spell, choose one of the following options. Effects,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. You can adapt
Change
your
appearance.
body to different things. You can change your appearance, including your height, weight, facial features. Yeah, you can do all that.
Okay.
Okay.
You can appear as a
Yeah.
creature of a different size than you.
Cool.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Wait,
So-
it
so
just
okay.
says you don't appear as a creature of a different size than you, right?
Oh,
You also don't
Also
appear.
can't appear as a creature of a different size than you, which means you could probably be a dwarf or a kinder or like something
Well,
yeah.
I'm small, so I can't be a dwarf even.
Yeah, you have to be a
Um,
can you, wait, yeah, you have to.
Halfling or a gnome or
Are halflings
are they
even
small?
No, I don't think
I'm not
halflings.
even
I
sure.
do not think halflings are small.
So
Yeah,
I'm saying,
halflings are.
human child. It disarms the guards, makes you not suspicious.
All right, Karn will be my daddy.
Okay. Shrugs.
Unassuming.
We're gonna wonder
Focus
why
on
the
time.
child is speaking more eloquent than the adult. This is
Why
gonna
the
be
child has a dagger, like.
I mean, or we could
I don't
simply
have to
do
keep
something
the
along the
dagger.
lines of you're the son of some noble person that I am
Yeah.
guarding because I am a very big, strong knight, and you are a very small child.
Riding on
Yes,
his shoulders.
call me master.
Yes, Master
Sorry, I
Captain
don't know why.
Kaz.
Young Master Kaz. The young master.
Young Master Captain of the Blue Drake, Kaz.
Adorable.
All right. Do we want to go chat up the guards?
After
real
much
quick?
ado. Yeah,
All right.
knock yourself out, guys.
I will. So
Good
Karn
crap.
will take themselves along with the child Kaz.
Gabi, I'm watching from
And
far away
while
with my blue
walking up,
lenses.
Karn will sort of realize we should probably come up with different names.
Right.
Nice cover story.
What do you want your name to be?
Kevin.
Unassuming. I like it.
Brucey.
I shall be Bartholomew.
All right.
Okay.
And okay, so you're not my actual dad.
No, I am your
You're,
retainer.
Head guards.
You're my my bodyguard.
Yes.
Escort.
Okay. So okay, yeah, you approach the
Wait,
guards. and,
I thought we were supposed to be unassuming, Oh, anyway.
Yeah, you
Well, I
guys
mean,
are.
you could just be the son of
Yeah.
some random noble person. I don't know.
All right.
and the guards say, hey there, who
Hail!
goes there? Tell us your
Well-
name. Are you a citizen of Whitestone?
We are not. I am Bartholomew, and I am the retainer for Master Kevin here. Gestures to the back of my horse, sort of
Okay.
trots along so they can see him.
And some of the guards leave the watchtower. They're going downstairs, and then a slot opens, and you can just see one of the guardsmen's eyes. And he says, "What is your business here in Whitestone?"
Do you wish to tell them, young master?
Sure.
My daddy owns all the caravans in the area.
Yes, I'm from a very important trading noble family from Kaimal, actually, and I'm here to do business representing my daddy.
Okay. Give me a deception check.
Can I say I'm helping so he gets advantage?
Sure.
Yay! Get those
Good.
big
I
boy
should
rolls
have.
in.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of deception here. All right, 16.
Okay. And then they say, "Have you been to Whitestone before?"
I'm afraid this is young master's first time.
Very well.
Bobby, I live off the coast, so if I'm whispering over the earrings, if they ask any kind of detailed questions about Whitestone, I feel like I could answer.
Okay.
But yeah, Karn will just say, "No, we haven't. This is our first time."
Okay. And then he says, "Is it just you two?"
No, we are heralds for a larger caravan. We are simply seeking We are simply asking for the permission to come in.
Very well. Bring the rest of your caravan to us.
All right. But give us but a moment. Gets the rest of the party. It's like
Yeah.
dagger.
Dagger?
Dagger,
All right.
Dagger, dagger, dagger.
Trader
Oh my
time.
God,
guys.
is this really what we're doing?
We got enough packs.
I feel like
We
we're
have
about
a
to
makeshift
bumble
sled.
into something as usual.
We could. Hey guys, it's easy. The only thing we wanted to avoid here was like a Barry situation where they're not letting anyone in or out, or they're like capturing people on the road. But
yeah, we're fine. We're not going to be able to avoid
seems okay.
Imway. She's like
This is
way more powerful than us.
Yeah, I'm not even worried about Imway. She's plot.
Yeah. All right. So I assume we all change our shape to something and then go back
Okay.
with our little
And-
like makeshift sled and our pack of goodies.
No,
And,
not the sled.
Oh, sorry, not the sled. Just the rest of us.
Well,
Yeah.
for a caravan trader, I don't know. We're magically enabled, so we're using bags of holding.
Well, Karn is going to look at answer Rove's queries and go, my plan is to say that this is simply young Master Kevin's like solo thing that his father allowed him to do.
His entourage.
Yeah, we're doing business, not
And bags
actually
of holding are expensive, but I mean uncommon item.
Yeah.
It's not,
Also,
not unheard of. I think we're couriers.
Karn, are you writing knight into?
I mean, yeah, it's a very scary like dark horse. It's like the thing is Karn can't like no matter what alter self, Karn's gonna be intimidating and creepy as hell.
You come from a very wealthy family, Kevin.
Yeah,
Very well.
he's like a very high end servant. Here.
You got sorcerers. You guys. Oh yeah.
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 I'm
Yeah.
not feeling good about this plan. I feel like this is like not going well already.
Dude, we literally just have to make it in the city. Then we're good.
Yeah.
So
this is fine.
the doors sort of crack open. Just,
Yeah.
you can sort of hear and see rustling and bustling, but there's a portcullis dividing, the other side of the entrance, and they say you'll just need to get your papers before you're allowed to enter. And you can see that there's like another room with this sort of like large woman with this large like human woman with just like this scowl on her face. And she has a bunch of papers around her, and she's basically sitting at a desk with just like a deadness in her eyes. And then she says, "Have you been here before?"
Karn is going to muster all the chivalry in their memory banks to be as polite and courteous as possible and go, "No, my lady, this is our first time." Like,
Very well.
fancy
She
bow.
stamps. She takes a stamp and she stamps a bunch of papers, and she says, she looks at you all, but she says, "How many?"
Karn's rolls out of bed.
There's 6 of us.
No, my intelligence isn't that low. But yeah, 6 of us, right?
Yes. Yes. There are 6
6 of us. Yes.
Including the horse.
Not
Wait,
including.
Not including the horse.
Not
The horse
including-
doesn't count as a person.
Actually,
Yeah.
5 of
Horse
us.
doesn't count.
Not including
5 of
Gabi.
us.
Oh, 5. Sorry.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabi's not
doesn't
a
count.
player.
Gabi's not in.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So 5.
Okay. She stamps
Unless,
papers.
Unless we're meeting up with fucking Langley. Did he meet us?
Or did he probably
Did he
went back
meet up
to
with us up front, or is he already in town?
Yeah. Well, he's not
he
with
probably
us
went
right
back to
now,
the-
so
Yeah.
this is wrong with us right now.
And she hands you like these like crude little papers with this red stamp on it, and she says, "Well, if you've never been here before, just so you know, you're not allowed in any of the shops, but you can go to the tavern.
May I ask why?
We've had a lot of theft. I don't know. Orders from the royals."
And I go up next to Karn. Say, "Excuse me, madam. Is there a different pass for going into shops?"
She says, "Yes, of course. You have to be a citizen."
Thank you.
So
you're not.
are we to do
Alright.
trade in the plazas then, and not in the actual stores?
Are you asking her? Or are you
Yeah,
asking the
I'm
party?
actually
Okay.
asking her just because
Okay.
like we're traders. How are we supposed to do our trade?
And she says, "The royals have forbidden trade outside of shops."
So forgive me for my ignorance, but we are not allowed in shops, correct?
No,
And so how are
you
we
have to have
supposed
papers, and you don't got the papers. You have to be a citizen.
I
okay?
just want to acquire these papers.
Guys, we've obviously I'm like suggestively kind of like looking at you guys.
Okay.
Guys, we've obviously taken enough of this kind of woman's time.
Wait.
Let's head into the-
Is there anyone else around right now, or is it just her?
It's just her. I mean, there's some guards nearby. They can kind of hear what you're
There's-
talking
So
about. They don't
all right,
really
wait,
care.
wait. So can I? Well, I'm thinking
So-
about.
Wait, guys, there's a
So-
solution that I'm thinking of. There's a solution I'm thinking of.
I think
Can
what we
Can
do.
I
Go
pull you
ahead.
guys to the side?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna huddle with our group because we're talking about stuff. We're just talking about travel plans. Don't mind us, guys. I can literally forge things like
Yeah,
Oh,
or
right.
or I could just like charm her.
you could, we could, but we haven't had the best track record.
We haven't had the best luck.
Or we
Go
could
back-
just steal what we need.
Karn will go
Yeah,
back
that
to
was
the
the other
woman
thing.
and go, I apologize. I'm cursed with curiosity and wanting to know what's about my station. Thank you for the papers and farewell.
Enjoy your stay. And she says, oh shit, what's it called? She says, you can go to the Tricky Kitten. You don't need papers to get in there.
Nice.
Thank you kindly.
Yeah.
Fair maiden.
Fair.
Sweet.
Attempts to wink.
Okay, she just looks up at you and glances back down.
But while we were in there, I don't know why I followed you all in there, but while we were in there, were there other documents on the desks? And,
There
like
were
the one,
papers, but you're not sure what they were.
Mm.
You have no idea what they are because you don't know what any documents look like. So
they weren't
could
like
be, but
organized well, and like, she pulled from one.
they could be, but you're not sure. You don't know.
I'll be
You
right
don't
back.
know what the correct documents look like.
We could pickpocket somebody, guys. Like swipe some documents from an actual citizen, and then I could forge some copies for the rest of us using
Yeah,
the.
and we
the
could
gloves
alter
of
ourselves
forgery.
to look like anyone in here.
But I'm assuming that they need to like show their
Yeah,
papers.
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
the shopkeeper doesn't
All right.
know everybody in the neighborhood.
I've also
We
had
really
a
need some
illusory
psychic
script
paper.
since level 1.
Oh,
And
illusory
not using it.
script. Ooh.
Level 1, you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got options.
Okay.
So they raise the portcullis, and since it's daytime, you can sort of see inside the city appears to be quite bustling. Not really as bustling as you thought, but you can just see a lot of buildings, a lot of houses, and sort of kind of stack piled against each other, very tight. And there's all different kinds of people in here, different races. And the people necessarily as you walk in don't really pay you much mind because they all seem to be busy doing their own thing. And then let me switch your map to this one.
New map. New me.
Okay, it's not this
Ah,
one, but I have
Dark, dreary, and everyone hates each other, just like home. Just as I remembered it.
to. And then you can also see sort of looming off to the north in the distance. You can see this large castle, this sort of like large castle. Large castle, ornate castle. But yeah, just like tons of buildings basically just kind of block your view from everything else. So
wait, so the city literally has zero trade, except incoming traders.
today.
They only import.
you might have to figure that out. I don't.
There's definitely some. Let's definitely try and gather some information, y'all.
Oh, which
while we're in
gate
the
did we go
tavern.
through, by the way?
Oh, good question. So I'm gonna say that you guys went through this gate down here.
Or
All right, so now we're in the common ward. Okay.
common
Yeah.
ward.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the bar, guys, and see if I can pick up a round of drinks. If you guys wanna.
What was the thing with for the tree? What was the component that we needed? Was it a
The
leaf?
leaf?
Leaves. Yeah. Do you want to walk over where the tree is in Donvather Square?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Do that.
Okay. So you walk over there and you can see this large tree like behind me, just in the center of this plaza, this large plaza, and it has these ornate little rafters sort of winding around the tree. But the tree does not look like this. The tree is bare, save for near the top of it, just a few frail small leaves, but like that's it. And the tree's it's very tall. It's probably like 100 feet tall. It's enormous, but it's basically bare. But there are people, you know, kind of walking around this plaza and whatnot. But
They're guards.
oh, good question. Yes, so there are guards, and they look they're guards that you've seen before. They have sort of like golden-esque armor, and they have these like white plumed feathers, you know, rising off of their helmets. And yes, there's a lot of guards. There's quite a lot of guards. More so than you've ever seen before in your life.
So Karan's going to approach one of the guards and simply ask, "Sir guard, may I have a quick question?"
He looks you up and down and he says, "Go for it."
I am new to Whitestone. What is the protocol surrounding the great tree? Gestures to the big tree.
And he says, "Protocol? What do you mean protocol?"
Is there anything that is forbidden with the tree? I do not
He
wish.
says-
I wish
says,
not
"Well,
to
you
perform
can't-
sacrilege."
You can't harm it in any way.
Okay. I simply wish to know, for I do not mean to insult.
Yes. Yes. No. But otherwise, it's pretty fair. People are forbidden to climb it.
We're making a big show of like looking like total tourists in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking at a map, like pointing at the tree. Like, oh wow.
You know what you should do? You should keep them talking, and I should climb it.
There's way
Maybe
more
not
than this
in
one
broad
guard.
daylight on a leafless tree.
On a leafless tree. But he says, no, there's not really much protocol other than that.
Thank you, Sir
I
guard.
think we can play the long game here, guys. We're good.
And Karan's gonna just like flip him like a silver coin and just go like, thank you for the troubles.
He says, thank you.
Nods.
What a pleasant guard.
Yeah, what a nice guy. That's
Yeah.
usually uncharacteristic for guards in
Yeah.
like fantasy settings. Just like,
So it's
yeah.
not the same thing, guys.
Are there any birds or wildlife or squirrels or anything?
Bathroom break real quick.
Not that you can
Oh, do you want an
see.
acorn?
Not that you can
I
see,
got
but
an
I'm sure
acorn in my
if you
pocket.
like wandered around town more and gave it some time, you might be able to find like a mouse or something. But there's no birds, there's no squirrels because this tree doesn't have leaves, so it's not like and it's a bunch of people. So yeah, you might have to find like a more urban animal. If that makes sense.
Sure.
All right, yeah. So what do y'all do, or where do you want to go?
Let's detect if there's any undead within 5 miles.
Okay. Sure. Yes. Let's see here.
As for my ability, I can detect how many and within what direction and how far away. So I could say they're 3 miles away and there's 100 of them, and the strength, I believe, maybe. Let me look it up.
Okay. So yes. How many? God. A lot. But it's underground, and it's like underneath Whitestone and underneath the castle.
Like a lot is in like 5, or a lot is in like 500.
Like 1,000.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. But it's all underground, so there must be something underground that you don't know about.
This is a fairly big deal, and yeah. Hey, Karn. Yeah, there's like 1,000 fucking undead presences underneath the castle up there.
And underneath the city.
In fact, there's so many undead underneath us right now. It's freaking me out, man. Yeah, you might have missed something important.
One thing, I mean, that Karn knows, and maybe Rove knows too, is that Whitestone is known for having like a problem with like undead stuff.
Yeah, there's like over 1,000 undead underneath us,
Yeah.
mostly underneath the castle.
Wow. Okay. I was just thinking, Gabi. I've altered my goggles into just like some benign spectacles.
Mm-hmm.
The lenses still change color, so I'm just wearing like some like John Lennon looking, purple lens glasses.
Transmetropolitan.
Do do I see any anything highlighted in green? Anything magic about the tree or any of the surrounding area?
Oh yeah, definitely. The tree's very magical.
Cool.
Yeah,
Are any of the soldiers? Do they have any enchanted weapons?
The
Is there any
soldiers,
hexes or
no.
barriers surrounding
Some
the-
people are carrying around magical weapons here and there, like adventurers, like other adventurers. You see quite a bit of other adventurers actually.
Okay. Are they all of the same race? Are they different races?
They're various races, yeah. Like
Oh,
you know, there
okay.
might be a party here and there. Yeah, but they're not like. They seem to be kind of doing their own thing, you
Word.
know. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, guys, I feel like aside from Karn, we could probably all find a convenient back alley to drop our disguises if we need to. You know?
You know what I was thinking is that there's all these undead underneath us, so maybe
Yeah.
there's like a network of tunnels or
Some catacombs or
underdark
some
or
shit.
something underneath.
Word. Is there
Karn is
a
just going to tap Rogue on the shoulder and go, I did work in the mausoleum.
Ooh.
So,
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is there a graveyard or a mausoleum here?
yes, there is actually. I worked there for a spell.
Ooh, shit.
Speaking of which, reapplies alter self so it doesn't like show it to me.
Nice.
Or
We have
worse.
I think we have. There are two more. There's one more charge in there then.
So should we maybe go to that mausoleum and gain entrance underneath? And
I could investigate that, yes.
what are we trying to accomplish while we're here? Like what are our
Hmm.
priorities 1, 2, and 3 here?
Well,
One of the
I want to
priorities-
go to the mausoleum anyways to visit my old friend.
Yeah.
I'm doing that anyways.
I think the main priority is Karn's kind of story progressing bit here. I know we want to sell some shit, so we need to get at least one citizens thing so we can go into a shop or send somebody in to sell shit. Just so we can turn material goods into coin. Nice. And maybe
And then
buy some
Vice
shit.
versa.
Coin into material goods.
Yeah, and then in that specific order. So
So you want to do the shopping and acquiring of papers first before we do anything else?
Probably.
Is that
yeah.
what I'm hearing?
we could do that. We could split up. We could do some different things.
All right. If we want to do the shopping and all that first, then let's go steal some papers.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds like me and the
Or,
captain are on.
Robe, you were saying that you might be able to make some.
I certainly. So,
But we
Gabi,
need-
I got the gloves of forgery a while back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure exactly.
Oh, but we
what
probably
those
have to
do.
know what we're forging or what do you
Yeah.
want it to look
So
like.
we
right?
need to. Either way, we need to witness what they look like, what these papers of sale look like.
Yeah. Let's
So-
go to an affluent neighborhood. Let's
Loiter around
follow
somewhere.
some businessman.
Try not to look like a mugger, you know.
No, we can
Or
make
watching
ourselves
people
look
buy shit.
affluent and just kind of observe one and then go steal his papers and then copy them.
Exactly.
All right,
Um,
I already look like some rich asshole's kid, so I'm looking good.
There you go. Yeah, you can toddle around, dude.
I could be a rich asshole.
Want to try that?
Yeah.
Oh, please, Daddy, I really want a sweet.
I'm not your dad. Stop saying that.
Was to Ruark.
Oh, I was gonna say like
No, but I mean, that makes sense because honestly, Kaz and I are like the sneakiest sons of bitches in the
Mhm.
crew.
You forget how sneaky I am. man.
So
All right.
But we're
basically-
also, well,
Oh yeah, I got
yeah, persuasive, but
you. You guys are certainly more.
So as you sort of try and one thing you notice is that when someone goes into a shop, there's this place called the Herald Store, there's a magic shop, there's all these different shops. There's always guards outside, and the guards only let in one person at a time, and so it presents an issue for you because you can't really see what people are presenting. You can't like go up behind them and look over their shoulder. They're like
Okay.
they seem to be very strict about that.
Are there any windows to the shop, Cubby?
There are some
I have a
windows to the
thought.
shop. Mm-hmm.
What you think?
I know a guy in Whitestone who is a citizen.
Yeah.
He can help
is-
us out.
Are you guys tight?
He literally was the person who found me
Also,
when I
don't
first woke in.
we also know Victor? has Victor returned to Whitestone? Is he still hanging out in Glen Colgo with our boat? He said he would go on ahead of us and meet us in Whitestone.
Yeah, he did.
So we
Let's
need
go
to
find Victor.
Let's fucking find Victor. Yeah.
Drag him down.
Sorry guys, false start.
Like, so
So how do we find
I mean,
Victor?
we should probably talk to Karn's friend anyway, that because he can give
Okay.
us a lot of information,
Hmm.
hopefully willingly. And then
yeah.
we might. Then the tavern seems like the best place to meet or
Word.
find Victor.
Gabi, Victor was a private eye, right? Basically.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So he would have an office.
You don't know.
Okay. Do we know if he was relatively well known? I mean, he was employed by the
He was
bar-
employed by the capital of Taldori.
So he's
you don't
like,
you don't know if he was. You're not sure. I mean, he was.
Okay.
He wasn't like. I don't think he was super well known, but he was like people knew. Sometimes
We can
people
ask
knew of
about
him, but
you can ask about him.
not really. Not really.
I'm sure a tavern owner might know somebody like that or something.
Yeah. Okay. So where do y'all want to go first?
Get a fucking drink, guys.
Yeah, let's go to the aforementioned tavern that we're allowed to go to.
Okay.
So
You find the
The only place
tricky-
that's not social distancing.
Yeah, you find a place called the Tricky Kitten, which is located right over there. And as you walk in, it's pretty bustling.
Is Rurak really offended right now?
Oh, I don't know.
You were really
It's pretty
excited.
bustling. And they're sort of your average, just drunk people, drunk dwarves, whatever. One thing that you do notice that sort of strikes you as interesting is as you enter and get drinks and sort of sit down, you notice that there's this circle of elderly women. They're sort of sitting there and they're like knitting or crocheting or doing
In a
something
bar.
else. And they're all very little. They're like halflings and gnomes. They're very cute. And one of them in particular has these really rosy cheeks. Just looks like the sweetest little lady. And you notice that. Oh wait. What are you all disguised as, by the way?
Me and Karn are humans.
Okay.
I think I found a nice alleyway to. How long have we been in the city by now, Gabi?
An hour or so.
Okay.
You see
then
people
yeah.
of all different races. There's like.
Then yeah, it's my disguised self would have run out anyway, or all of ours
Okay.
would have. Besides,
Well.
Oh really? Oh, it
Yeah.
only lasts an
it'll
hour.
last for an hour.
Ew.
So we found a nice alleyway to make the switcheroo. If we had anybody tailing us, they probably aren't tailing us anymore.
Okay, so now we're back to our
Back to
selves.
normal.
Original selves.
Okay.
We
So
still want
anyways,
normal, but
anyways, Rove, you notice that this sweet old little gnome woman just keeps looking at you and smiling from her like knitting table.
Oh,
As you all just sort of do your thing at the tavern. But other than that, you don't see anyone else that you know or
cute.
yeah.
I send them a drink, or I send them a round of drinks. They're in a tavern, so I assume they're drinking.
Yes, they are. They
Awesome.
are.
Sweet. I sent them a round of drinks, and I gave them a little wave.
And her mouth is wide open. And she gets up and she walks over to y'all and she says, "Oh, hello there, dear. Well, I just had to thank you so much for the lovely drinks. Oh, you're so nice. What is your name there, sweetie?"
I think by this point, since I stopped back home, Gabi, and the rest of the crew, that's been like the first time I've been home since I was taken by the Myriad.
Mhm.
So like that was a bit of a homecoming. So I think I've had a chance to kind of change clothes, and I think my clan tartan is now in a nice little half cape. And I do a nice long elaborate Scottish bow, and I say, "I'm Rove Kissler at your service."
And she says, "Oh, it's my service. Well, you better be careful with that. I've been known to be a bit naughty." Well, would you like to come join us at our table?
Oh boy.
I can't say no to that.
can't say no to anything, can you, Rove?
Yeah.
I'm not being flirty.
Dear. As you can see, we've got quite a big table, okay?
Sure. Yeah. Let's. You guys want to go join these fine ladies?
I remember what happened with the Sulkies.
I'm not looking to get some, dude. I'm just being kind.
Yeah, it's not you I'm worried about, it's her.
As long as she's not grabbing anything, you know.
Not yet.
Just keep your kilt, you know.
Yeah, keep
In
the
order.
kilt down. Keep it tucked.
And as you kind of go all and sit down, she addresses you, Rove, and she says,
No, I was admiring your lovely little cockles. Oh dear, they look like they're of gnomish design. Would I be correct in that assumption?
Say, I would.
Ooh,
You seem like you know your
wonderful.
stuff.
Oh dear, of course I do. Well, you know, it looks like the craftsmanship of someone I knew. You see, dear, my name is Flynn McPherson, but most around here know me as Nanny McPherson, dear. I'm from the Trollbane clan, just 2 knots west of the Alabaster Sierras, right on the coast there, dear. We do quite a bit of trading with your kind, and I would not be surprised if my grandson didn't know you.
And I take off the goggles. I mean, trusting this lady.
Ooh,
And I show her any kind of craftsman mark or anything on there.
I can tell. Ooh, I'm not sure if it's Dixie Tin Fizz or a mirror. Oh, I'm not sure. She definitely must have come from the village, dear.
Definitely did.
It
You're
makes
right.
me happy.
Where do you and your the rest of these fine ladies hail from?
Ooh, yes, this we live here, dear. You know, I got tired of living on the coast. It's not right for an old lady like me. It's too much work. You got to grow your own food. You got to go fishing. So I thought, I'm just going to move to the city. It's easier. And as you can see, there's many lovely ladies.
Well, I know the coast ain't thrill.
Anyways, are you all new? I've not seen you before.
I think we're gonna play it straight with these.
Whitestone.
I look towards the captain, to be honest.
And you can see in her eyes, she's sort of looking at you all. And she looks at Kaz and she cocks her head and she says,
Oh dear. Do you really have blue skin?
Since the day I was born.
Oh wow.
and then she looks over at you, Karn, and she says,
Wait a minute.
I'm still Northwood form.
Yeah.
"Oh, you're normal form. Okay."
He's still human.
yeah.
He cast it again.
No.
He cast it again.
Oh.
Okay.
He cast it again. That's why we only have 1 charge left on the dagger.
Oh,
Eight
okay.
charge
Is
daggers,
Rourke in
they're,
normal form, or is he out of normal form?
Unless he, actually, since there are 5 of us, we would have done it 5, and then Rourke. So there's 2 more charges on it. Unless
Okay,
Rourke
so Rourke
decided
probably
to
did it? Okay, that's fine.
disguise again, then no. We have 2 charges left.
I'm
And
right
she
back.
looks, she looks over at you, Risa, and she says,
Oh dear.
and she cocks her head, and she weirdly says,
Might you be a wild one?
Well, I can put on the proper
and then she cocks her head and she says,
Some might call it a witch. Would that
oh,
be
is
correct?
that what you were asking? Yes.
Oh yes.
I know my table manners is what I was
Wonderful.
I thought you were asking. Actually, could you excuse me one moment? Rourke,
Oh,
uh,
of course there did.
would you like to help me carry around a drinks?
Oh yes, I'm quite parched. Let me help you with those.
Yeah. Pardon me, everyone. I'm gonna go to the bar.
Okay.
And Risa and I go to the bar.
So just to Rourke, I say I want to ask the bartender if they know what they know about these ladies and whether their story stacks up.
"Okay." The bartender is this this sort of gruff. It's actually a Goliath, like this big fucking, this large man, and he says, Oh, the nanny? Everyone loves the nanny.
What do they love? What do they love about the nanny? And by the way, around I'd like to give a pitcher of wine.
A giraffe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he says, well, honestly, the nanny's quite welcoming. You see, she wasn't able to have kids, so she's like a mom to everyone.
Nice. I think we can.
How long has she been in town?
And he goes, well, at least a couple decades.
Nice.
I'm gonna look at Rourke. You believe this guy?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Gabi, can I roll insight?
Sure.
There's definitely something. It is when it's just Risa and I, and the bar kind of goes away. I'm like, hey, there's something weird, here for sure.
It's a 21, Gabi.
Yeah. I mean, wait, are you doing the insight on her, or are you doing the insight on him?
I'm still sitting with the nanny.
Oh yeah, I mean, she just seems like a delightful old woman that
guys,
clearly
she just knows
is
her shit.
A little lonely, or just like wants to,
She's obviously well traveled. She used to live in the coast, but she moved in.
We're still spooked by the Kelpie.
And what we've learned is like trusting strangers goes so well.
Very true.
Giving them our goggles and stuff.
And then Kaz, she says to you, she says,
You know, dear, have you heard of the heroes that held from Stilben, a small little port town? There was a blue couple just like you, dear. Have you heard of them?
It's like
I'm
like
more curious about
polishing our buttons.
where you
and
heard
shit.
about it.
she says,
I have an idea.
says, ooh, and she looks around at all her friends, and her friends are kind of quiet, weirdly, but they all kind of nod their heads, and she says,
Oh dear, we've heard all the stories of them. How they upstate the town. They're quite the heroes.
And everyone's, well, I don't know about it.
I mean,
And she says, in fact,
we do
I
what we
believe-"
can.
and she says,
Oh dear, I also believe that they had one like you.
and she points to you, Rogue, and then she says,
And they also had,
and she points to you, Risa,
I believe, some sort of witch or some sort of wild woman there, dear.
Hey,
So it's
hey,
quite
Risa?
odd.
Risa, let's go get some food for our friends as well.
We are pretty hungry.
Subtle.
Pretty hungry.
But anyways,
yes, meat pies
anyways,
or whatever
there,
they have.
Welcome to Whitestone.
What would you ladies like to eat? Let us go order something.
Oh,
Perhaps you could tell us about the city in exchange.
I can't turn down a good ham hock, dear.
Awesome.
Good
Well, some of our friends have been ham-fisted, so we're gonna grab some ham hocks
Oh,
and do
you're
other things.
such a sweetie.
Come on, Risa, let's go back to the
Thank you,
bar and
dear.
order some food for these fine
Oh,
gals.
that's so nice.
You lead, I follow.
So nice.
Hey, Risa,
Anyways,
we
what's your names?
I've already given mine.
true.
I'll let you guys introduce yourselves at your own leisure.
Well, I suppose you know me as the Blue Drake.
And she says,
Wait a minute. Are you serious? Are you telling me that you are from Stilben?
I mean, we'd rather not have that be advertised
Oh,
to the
dear,
entire
of
city,
course.
but
Oh, I
you seem like a
completely
perceptive
understand.
lass.
Oh, of course, dear. Well, I must say, I'm so grateful to meet you, and I can speak for my ladies too. You really helped save that little town down there. It's kind of
Well,
a terrible little
we're trying,
town,
but there's still much danger
oh,
abroad.
dear, I know. It just breaks my heart. That's why they're so weird about letting new people in.
I was going to
What have you heard about the source of this malignancy?
Honey, we don't know. We don't know.
I mean, but surely you've heard rumors.
Oh, I've heard lots of rumors, but strange creatures coming out of the water, all manner of things, weird ships on the water, all sorts of things, dear. But thankfully, within this city, there's not been one case.
Tell us, good Nani.
Fortunate.
Yes.
Tell us, good Nani. On our way in the city, we got papers, but we'd like to offload some cargo. But we've come up against the terrible situation that is we can't do business in any shop without citizens buying sales.
Such a silly decision. But dear, let me tell you, the nanny has quite the influence.
Yes.
I'm a good friend with many of the shop owners. Because of all the good that you've done, I can easily get past that. Just give me some time to have a 3-letter chat with them. And you don't need to worry.
All right. Would it be possible to see what the official papers look like, just to know what we're looking for?
Dear, I can probably just get you some papers.
Okay.
But as long as you keep quiet, because
Play it straight, guys.
we don't want the old nanny to get in trouble, do we? Oh no.
There's a big wink.
Oh no.
But say no
Perish
more,
the
Nani.
thoughts.
Say no more. Much
If I can
obliged.
do something, if I can do something to help you or to help this situation, well, by golly, good, I'm going to do it.
You're an angel, love. You're an angel. Truly.
Oh yes, and in fact, you're more than welcome to come stay at my house. I can make you fanny cakes for breakfast. It would be lovely.
Yes, I would appreciate that, for I am a regular human who enjoys the ingestion of sweets.
Oh dear, you have an interesting monotone. I've never heard someone like that before.
Error.
I mean,
Error. Improvisation engine failing.
But then she looks at you all and then she says,
So, what brings you to Whitestone? I hope this sickness isn't coming here, is it?
Before this goes on too long and we divulge everything possible, like bumbling fucking idiots that we are, can we pause and go back to Ham Hawk and Risa and Ruark? So I pull Risa over into an alcove to like an empty table.
All right, just don't hex him.
And pull out from our party items the augury scroll that says whether something is a good idea or bad idea.
Ooh,
And being that she's the witch, I hand it to her and say, let's maybe ask whether we should be trusting old grandmother here or whatever her name is, the nanny.
Is augury a divine spell? I think it might be.
It is a divine spell that I can use.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
But it's kind of witchy because it's like throwing the bones and like seeing what
I'll show them how it's
whether it's a wheel or woe. So I say, Risa, I will cast the spell. You asked the question.
I mean, if we're discussing things out of character, I had Zone of Truth.
And we cast that in the middle of a crowded thing. I don't know.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, that's an option.
You can make it a flourish. Do it in terms of an explanation.
All right. Anyways, I gotta go.
But she already knows that we're the traveling band of heroes that have done something to the town of Stillben, and she already knows that we're there. She's hoping that we're not there to a disease-related thing. So we can just say, well, no, I don't think there's any concern of it coming to the town just yet. But we're hoping maybe something here will help us out. You don't have to go any further than that.
But
we never meet nice people. So
yeah, but just as a protection, why does it hurt for us while we're not being watched and we're supposedly picking up food to just use this spell, the scroll that sits in the party kitty that does nothing, that tells us whether or not this is a good idea or bad idea?
You could. It might be a waste of a really nice scroll, though. I've already done insight on her.
I'll get you another one.
I'm super into wasting a nice scroll right now.
All right, fine. That's fine.
All right.
Cast it. I'll help.
So yeah, make sure that we're not within view of the table and the ladies. We're in the corner and we kind of block the view for a moment, and like we're looking over a map or something, and Risa and I do our thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell her. Honestly, we have a lot of things we'd like to offload. I'm in need of some new gear myself. And we're actually also here to find a private investigator by the name of Victor.
She says,
Oh, Victor. Yes, I know him. He's
Do
been
you?
here. Oh, yes, dear.
Does he have an office in the city somewhere?
Oh, he doesn't have an office, no. But you can't really mistake. You can't really mistake when you see him there, dear. He's such a handsome fellow. Oh my, that top hat. Oh dear. All the women here, especially us around here, this table. Oh, we ogle at him, dear. We do. And we think
Gabby.
naughty thoughts, dear. We think very naughty thoughts.
Is there any way we might be able to get in contact with him?
Gabby, I have a quick question.
Yes.
I'm just curious. So, do you remember the name we gave to the groundskeeper? Because that's been lost to some notes in sequester.
Dylan, why don't you just make it up right now? Because
Really?
I forgot it too, and I was
Groundskeeper-
hoping you would tell me, but I totally forgot too.
That's
so,
fine. I think it was Eustace actually. Just Eustace.
Yeah, so I totally forgot. So.
Because Karn's gonna
You
ask
forgot
if
those. Yeah, that's fine.
Karn's gonna ask Nanny. Are you perhaps familiar with the groundskeeper Eustace? He works at the altar around the altar of the Raven, I believe.
Oh dear. So sorry to tell you this, but he passed away. Just 6 months after my poor Tiefel fell.
Do you know what was the cause?
Well, dear, not many people do. But he was in the infirmary for a couple of weeks. He was an old man, a gentle, sweet soul, and we loved him very much. I attended his funeral, but unfortunately, dear, we believe he just passed from old age.
Karn's just gonna solemnly lower their head and just go.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
sorry, dear. I'm sorry to tell you that.
He was buried in the graveyard, correct?
He was, dear, yes. Mm-hmm.
Karn's just gonna like stand up and just turn apart and go, I need to go. And just slowly walk out of the tavern.
As you're walking out,
Oof.
Karn, Rove's gonna lay a hand on your shoulder and say, "We'll be here when you need us."
Oh, gosh. I
No,
hate
it's-
being the bearer of bad news like that.
How have the
He just was a really good man.
how have the ham-fisted bar people fared with their nefarious deeds?
Wait, what?
You know, I think we're actually not the ham-fisted ones this time. I think you telling our whole business to someone we've never met before is the ham-fisted part. So the cautious ones of the group would like to know how their spell went. Is it a good idea to be putting so much faith in and trusting the nanny? Spell cast.
Wait, sorry. Oh, are you casting augury?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let me just. So, heal for good results, woe for bad results. So by casting Rolling Dragon in the next 30 minutes, the DM chooses one of the possible following omens.
Basically, I'm throwing the bones.
yeah.
Is what the
Yeah.
good, bad.
Yeah. You get the wheel, which is good results, favorable.
Wow.
Good to know.
No.
Well,
Do you guys feel confident then?
so we come back smiling with like a ham hock and
Yeah, a charcuterie plate.
other things that the horny granny want. And
Like you come back with like everyone's like, hey, we got the food. Everyone's like solemn and sad after the realization. Karn's old friend.
we're all happy.
Karn's gone.
We even
Yeah.
got you a grease spear.
No reaction, just walks past you.
Oh.
Yeah, so let's see.
You've got an earring with you, Karn.
Oh yeah, that's right. So then, she sort of repeats herself. So she says,
So, dears, why have you come here?
Explained it.
"You did?
I said we're here to find Victor and
Oh,
offload
right.
some shit.
Okay.
You mean you didn't tell her everything, that we're here to save the
I
world?
gotta.
No, oddly enough, I'm not a ham-fisted buffoon.
Okay.
Crazy, right?
She says,
Oh dear, well,
First time for everything.
Oh God.
I don't know where he lives, but like I said, it's pretty easy to spot. But he is here. He sometimes comes into the tavern and we have a little toast.
So what's up with the undead presence underneath this whole town, and especially the castle up there?
and she kind of gets a little serious for a second, and she says,
Well, dear, there are catacombs under the city. Most people don't venture into them because, well, dear, they're quite dangerous. And it is rumored that quite a few of what you would call the unliving survived down there. And, well, dear, no one really knows what to make sure of the castle and the Briarwoods anymore. There's a lot of rumors. But dear, they're doing a good job running the city overall. So, I don't know.
Ma'am, what are the which of these rumors do you believe the most?
Well, I do think it is a bit of a coincidence that before the previous rulers mysteriously died, that the Briarwoods came into power, really through no connection of their own. They were not an heir. They just sort of assumed the position. It was a bit odd, but they were so charming, dear. And let me tell you, that Lord Silas, oh my, he's a looker, dear.
Tell me
But,
more.
and he's so charming and so nice. He's just gosh. Most of the ladies at this table were so smitten with him. But I do think it's odd. But I think I trust them, dear. I do. I think I trust them. It is a bit odd and a bit unfortunate, but I don't believe they're bad people. I do believe, though, that some people working for them might be a little bit odd and nefarious, and that is where that reputation stems from.
Who do you know that's in their employ?
Well, dear, I've never been in the castle, but I've just seen a few things. Just really, really simple things. Just left me with an odd feeling. People in cloaks. People in dark cloaks. It was just odd.
I mean, what do the rumors say? And truly, I mean, like, no bullshit. It's just us talking here. I mean, what are the rumors of the leaders of the castle? And what's believed?
Well, it's sort of a divisive topic. See, say about half the people believe somewhat similar to me, where it's just an unfortunate circumstance that the Briarwoods happened to take power at a time which was just not very good for the city. And this darkness, whatever we want to call it, began to spread. But they really increased the city's economy and really helped to make it a better and more safe place to live. But then you have the other side of people, which generally, to some degree, believe that the Briarwoods are evil, and that they killed their previous rulers to then take power and create what they wanted within the castle, and not really allow people into the castle to see what was happening.
What's in the castle?
Well, dear, I don't know. I've never been there. Most of us haven't. You see, it's a lot of conspiracies. But like I said, generally, dear, they're good people. At least I believe they've really helped the city.
Have you ever seen any weird portals to other dimensions in the sky and beams going from the
dear.
castle. And
No,
covering
absolutely
the-
not, dear. That's just nonsense, dear. Oh, I mean, that would be interesting. You know, they do say that a woman lives in the tree in the center of the town. But good God, it's probably just hogwash, dear.
is that you, dear? And I kind of like put my finger on it.
Oh, dear.
You're the one who lives in the tree.
Oh, how'd you know? Oh, you're a funny one. I like you.
We already ran into the lady that lives in the woods.
We ran into the lady who lives in the tree.
She gave Risa a broom and gave us all of our side quests.
That's
She's
her?
the White Witch.
I thought she lives in the woods.
She does.
No, she lives in the sun tree.
That was not made clear to me.
It's her summer home. She said that she's the one who cured me, basically. She gave me like a yeah.
I just thought she was in the woods. Okay.
Yeah, she is.
And then Nanny McFarslow says,
Well, dear, it's getting late, and it's a wee past me bedtime, so we must be going. But
Will you stand up? No.
I don't believe it's past your bedtime. I think you've got time to have a little bit of a nightcap with old Mr. Ruark here.
That is quite true. You know, I do fancy. I'm a bit of a night owl, but if I stay up too late, dear, I cannot sleep well. Oh no! So I've learned I got to go to bed.
So I stand up alongside him. Okay. Well, wonderful to meet you. You get home okay? Is there any?
Oh dear, of course.
How should we?
No one would
Wait,
ever.
Again?
Didn't she offer us to stay at her place a moment ago?
She did. Good, but
she says,
Well, dear, if you would like to stay at my house, you're more than welcome to. But you
Yeah.
know,
I
what,
mean-
if you
Wanna go
don't
bunk with
want
the
to, I
lady?
don't want to impose. I just merely want to help you.
It's a kind offer. She seems trustworthy. She's gonna get us papers. She's
it would be
kind of
nice not to have to pay for a room. You know.
Yeah, she's kind of cool. Like, let's do it.
nice.
okay. Okay, so you follow
Yeah.
her house.
After that scroll of augury, you're all good now.
Totally.
She's,
Something good might happen.
She has this cute little house with kind of a lot of bedrooms, actually.
Oh, do any of the other ladies come with us?
They do, but they have separate houses, so they go to their own
They're
house. And
scattered.
she has this cute little house, with kind of a lot of bedrooms, and she says,
Oh dear, here you go. You can sleep in here. And I'll be up early in the morning to make you breakfast.
Do you have borders often,
"What's that?"
Nanny? Do you have borders here
And
often?
she says, oh dear, I do. You see, this is me bed and breakfast. I love hospitality, dear. It's
And
a way
I
that you
love
make
breakfast.
It's a way that
And I love beds.
So dear, sleep well.
Yeah, we know you love beds, you little blue devil.
You're a naughty, naughty monkey, dear. Oh, you are.
You have no idea how naughty of a monkey he is.
Oh, you better be careful, dear. You keep flirting with me, you might find yourself in a situation.
I feel like you guys are flirting for me.
Not flirt at
This
all.
is great. I'm doing the work.
I'm never attacking.
Somehow all the bedrooms are taken up, Kaz. There's none left.
Can we? Can I like swing by the graveyard and see if my good
Sure.
bud Karn is in there?
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah, Karn.
Yeah, Karn. So, why don't you describe to Rove where he finds you and what you're doing?
So, well, when Karn first arrived, so Karn will walk to, effectively to the graveyard and attempt to the gravefield and attempt to find the grave of Eustace, the kind old man who cared for him when they first woke up. And
I've gotten directions to Nanny McPherson's or
yeah,
Parsons'
so
house,
Karn will actually try and see if the current groundskeeper is around and try and look for them.
Sure. You see this like kind of frail, really pale, skinny young woman that has just big, deep circles under her eyes.
Karn
She
will
just sort of looks at you like and doesn't really say anything.
Greetings, ma'am. I look for the grave of the previous groundskeeper. Do you know where he lies?
She says, "Follow me." She turns and she walks And she leads you to where his grave is.
Okay. Like, is it like a very simple like headstone?
Yeah, it's a very simple headstone.
Like, Karn's just gonna stare down and like look to the woman and go, "May I have some privacy, please?"
And she just walks away.
Karn's going to kneel down at the grave and drop the altar self spell on himself. And he's just going to like gently run their hands over the headstone, just feeling the grooves of the lettering. Place a hand on the mound, like the burial mound. Bow their head and just offer a prayer of safe passage into the next life, and that the matron will protect the sanctity of his death, so that he may have eternal rest in the afterlife.
So that's where you find him, Ro. Or that's how you find him.
I'll stand respectfully off at a distance. Just kind of making sure I recognize that he's certainly not altered his appearance anymore, and I'll just make sure keep a lookout. And I think it's an allowance we can definitely make for the time being. And then once he's finished up, I'll go over to him and let him know kind of our lodging situation.
Sure.
Karn's just going to like quietly just listen.
Cool.
And
Do you follow me back?
First, Karn's going to take the brooch, the raven brooch that he has, and just drape it on top of the headstone.
Rove says, when you're ready, I hope someday you'll tell me of him.
Karn just nods and goes, "There's one place I like to visit before I return." And they're going to walk towards the mausoleum where they woke up in.
Sure, that's called the Altar of Ravens.
So yeah, Karn's just going to go
Altar of the Raven.
Shit.
Yeah, Karn's just going to go to the Altar Raven and just sort of go back to where it all began for them.
Jeez. Okay, that's a couple of districts to the east. Do you feel good by yourself, or do you need some backup?
Oh no, that's where he already is, basically.
Yeah.
That's kind of the graveyard area.
Cool. Then I mean, I guess what I mean to ask is, can I return to the nannies? Are you coming back with me, or do you want to keep? Would you like me to roll with you for a bit?
I would prefer solitude.
Roger. I'll be back at the nanny's place if you need me, and I give you like directions or whatever.
Karn will nod.
Drawn a little road map or whatever.
Yeah. So Karn's going to return to the Altar Raven, to the mausoleum.
Rockin'.
Just sort of take time to reflect on their current existence, their current experiences.
So so basically you all spend the night, you all sleep really good. And you wake up to the smell of like a sweet creamy bread smell, just like piercing your nostrils, which makes your stomach gurgle. And you can sort of hear bumbling downstairs, and as you get downstairs, you can see Nanny McFarcel is, she is baking, she is going to town, and she has all of these beautiful rolls and like quiches and stuff, basically all set out on the table. And she says,
"Oh, good morning, dears. I hope you're hungry because I've made a feast for us." Ooh.
You sit down, you begin eating, and it's really amazing and delicious. And she says,
"Oh, and you've got to try one of my famous fanatics, Steve."
It's basically like a little piece of bread with like a slit down the middle.
It looks like a butt.
Yeah.
So Gabi, just for heads up, Karn's going to spend the entire night in meditation and prayer for like guidance from the matron.
Sure. You got 2 charges to alter yourself when you need it.
Why don't you give us an insight check, Karn?
All right. Insight is a button I can press. I'm gonna use my inspiration to reroll that.
Okay.
There we go. That's very nice.
Okay, so Karn, you have this overwhelming feeling that you're in the right place. Like this is where you need to be. And you have sort of this deep, intense, foreboding feeling of the castle. And like so there's evil in the castle. And you're not sure what or where or why or what is going on. There's something evil in there.
Dracula.
Probably Dracula.
And thus begins the Count Strahd module.
Right.
Oh no, not Strahd.
Saltmarsh opens up, Curse of Strahd.
No, you
One
guys.
more year.
I will say I wouldn't do that to you.
Sorry,
Fucking play it, dude.
and by like here, do I feel like literally right where I'm standing, or is just in Whitestone?
Whitestone is great. It's just you feel this like this draw towards the castle. Like there's something you have to
Do there.
Smite
there.
there.
There's something bad.
Ah,
There's something
yes,
bad that you have to like delete there, basically.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what you have it.
All right, good. So
Um,
then in the morning I will sort of return to everyone else.
And
I'd like to have another dagger of disguise waiting.
okay. Then she also tells you all. She's like, or she says,
Oh, indeed. I've already talked to most of the shop owners, and I've also talked to the owners of the casino there, dear. So you can go gamble, make some money, or lose some. You can also go to any of the most of the shops here. The prominent shops, was there.
Sweet.
So you have papers for us?
and she says,
Well, dears, I've told them who you are. They've agreed to keep secret. I hope it's okay. We're going to work on getting you the papers for what you've done for Stillman and for this continent. But it will take just a couple of days, dear. But you don't have to worry.
Awesome. You're a doll.
Oh, thanks, dear.
Oh, hey, Gabi, just since I'm trying to read this book, can I do an R check for the night, for the long rest?
sure, just a normal one without any pluses, just because you rested in a bed.
All right, it should be a 16. I don't know why it keeps adding 2.
All right, I'm feeling generous. Sure, go for it.
Rested, dude.
It's a long book, so yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
What book do you read, Mike?
It's
a long book.
World of the Arcane. It'll give me a proficiency in Arcana,
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
which I just need one more day with.
And then, as you're sort of, getting ready to go and do whatever, you can see that out of your window, you can see this adventuring party, or so you assume. They look really rough. There's like this, you can see a dark elf woman that just looks really, really shady. And then you can see this man that has these braids in his hair and this kind of pulled back, and he's got all these swords and just this really gruff, intense look on his face, and you can see blood on like old blood stained on his leather armor. And then you can see a really jovial halfling, and as they walk by, the nanny just kind of looks at them, and then her eyes just get kind of wide, and she goes back to cleaning everything up.
Oh, what time do I get back to the party, by the way?
You're back now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Morning. Time
Yeah,
for
that's fine.
breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Nathan, you
Solomon
look like you're
quiet?
actually standing in that freaking background.
I ask,
Getting some
do you know,
supplies from the
do you know
shelves.
that crowd?
And she says,
Oh dear, I do, unfortunately. That's Icarus Vane and his crew. Supposedly they work for the Briarwoods, and they're just an unsavory lot, they fear. Tried to get to know him many times, but he's so rude, so mean. In fact, one time, me and my ladies were sitting in the bar, enjoying a wonderful cup of bourbon stout. And he comes in and throws a head of a wolf on our table. That's so rude and disgusting.
Rude individual.
He feels the need to prove himself, dear. Anyways, just
Who is this who threw the head of a wolf?
his name, he passed us by. His name is Icarus Vane. Oh gosh, that dude, he's rough.
Like the bad
Just-
version of us.
Just
He's a bit of a pirate then.
again, just be mindful of him. And maybe if you end up talking to him, try and not to get on his bad side, dear. He has been known to kill a few people.
Does he have another side then?
Well, I
Nice.
don't know, dear.
What
Rob is
what have
on
you
the
heard he does? In what manner is he employed by the Briarwoods?
Well, dear, there are certain people that attempt to run from the law, and Icarus Vane is basically a bounty hunter, dear. He finds them in the city and brings them to the castle. Sometimes we see them again, sometimes we don't.
Miss Nanny, is there a way to ascertain the current outstanding bounties of Whitestone?
Oh dear, well I suppose there is. Let me think about that for just a second. Let me think.
So while Nanny's thinking just for one second,
Yeah.
there's also a docks where we could deal with potentially the ship that showed up or never showed up.
Oh, true. So this map isn't accurate in that. So basically, there is a part of Whitestone, the left or the east side, sort of like this dock area. It's known as the Styes, and we're gonna do just like 30 seconds of retcon because I really should have talked about this. But basically, the nanny told you that the Styes they're kind of like the slums of Whitestone.
Okay.
No one really wants to go there, but what has been happening and why this Icarus Vane character is more out than usual is there have been there's apparently there's been a lot of murders that have been happening in the Styes, and it's really bizarre. Basically there is a man by the name of, I forget his name, I'll have to look it up. But there's a man that works in the Styes. He's a clockworker person, and he's sort of kind of like the mini mayor of the Styes. I forget his name, I'll look it up. But he exists there, and there's like all these murders happening, and no one can seem to solve it, and people are afraid to go in the Styes because of it.
And then we have people like Icarus Vale just basically chopping heads, taking names of those responsible.
Yeah, but no one has figured it out yet. And like
Right.
every
He's
few
just
days,
like, oh, you killed someone. I'm not gonna think about this. Chop.
every few days, someone else in the Styes gets murdered, and it's like a big thing. And what another thing the nanny told you, which isn't cool, is that the Briarwoods, other than like they'll kind of throw Icarus Vane in there initially, but he doesn't really try and solve it. Like it's kind of weird, and it's kind of weirding some people out that it's like it's not really being dealt with.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so that happened.
Yeah. I assume, is there like a constabulary in Whitestone or something?
Sure.
Just
That's what it's
because.
called.
Okay, because Karn wants to see if there's a bounty on his head, because he's technically a fugitive.
Got you. So while we do that, I'm going to share with you a document about all the different things you can purchase, and I'm gonna have a time limit only because you can also just purchase in downtime, so just don't spend all. So I'm gonna give you guys 15 minutes, and you can purchase whatever you want, or you can wait till after the session, just so we don't spend like an hour trying to purchase stuff. Because there's a lot, like there's too much to look at. So I will share it on Discord. I suppose I can share it in the chat too.
I suggest we wait to figure out what we want until after the session, guys.
Yeah. I'll just share it now so you can like, I don't know, just get a sense in
what I
case
will
you might
propose,
want to.
Bobby-
I don't know.
Let's take the next 15 minutes to kind of more discuss like what we're gonna accomplish. Like, you know, Karn wanted to go see his buddy.
Well, I did. Well, I went to the grave of the old man who took care of me when I was awake. So I already
He
did
knows
that.
the castle is like the next place he.
Yeah.
We need to get the leaf right from the tree, and there's some great evil Dracula or something living up the castle.
Oh
that we
wait,
need.
hold on. That link doesn't.
And then there's the worst one of all, my mother-in-law.
Yeah. And I think the captured Selkies were also underneath the castle as well.
So I mean, there's the catacombs and all the undead as well.
Mhm.
So as a party, why don't we go through and hear from each person and see what they think their priorities are and what they'd like to do. Anybody want to start?
So, first off, Karn's gonna go see if there's a bounty on his head.
Okay.
Is that a good idea to walk into a place that you think might be having a wanted poster for?
He's altered.
I'm altered.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
All right.
so
all
can
right.
we put that on the list? So find out if there's a bounty on Karn. That's one thing. Okay. Anything else, Karn?
Nope.
No, not wanting to like, cure the kind of still mad.
What?
For me, I think getting the leaf is a really big deal. I think thwarting whatever evil is taking over the Briarwoods and that the castle. And I don't like all the undead, and I kind of would like to kind of take care of some of that. And then the chaotic, greedy side of me wants, wonderful magical items and shopping and all that.
Yeah,
of course.
sorry. I was honestly just looking at the stuff available.
Yeah, I'm trying not to look at that.
Since we have maybe like a little under an hour left in the session,
So tree, catacombs, castle for me.
word. I have a suspicion that the catacombs may lead to the castle.
I was thinking the same thing.
So honestly, I might want to investigate the catacombs first, but I do propose that we actually do gear up before that, with whatever kind of magic tattoos or magic items or whatever.
Yeah. So
so
take the
if there's
next
something we
15
can
minutes.
do with under an hour that might help us progress the story, but not start us going into the catacombs.
What
Yeah,
about what about grabbing the leaf before we go into the catacombs?
Sure,
Does that sound reasonable to anybody?
Yeah.
that sounds good to me.
I mean, we have a
Have you-
witch.
Anything different to say?
We have a witch who could like turn into like an owl and go procure a leaf, maybe.
Good. Polymorph would be awesome.
Something makes me very nervous about that. Oh yeah, and I
Think
can
it's
do
protected in
polymorph
some way?
once a day for free.
I mean, if you don't feel comfortable, one of us could be polymorphed as well.
Good. I also have goggles that check for any kind of spell that's active on the tree. The tree itself is magical, we know that, but
Yeah.
I feel like any kind of barrier or magical like despellifying device, I'm gonna see the effects of that too. So if anything,
Do we,
I can
not
do a
have,
quick
do,
check.
we have the spell detect magic?
My goggles are like constant
Gotcha.
detect magic.
Okay,
Purple
perfect.
lenses have
And so
running
you'll be able to
detect
tell the school of magic and all that good stuff.
magic. It's running. It's literally the spell detect magic.
Okay, perfect. And now, Risa, do you feel comfortable being the one who goes up and gets the leaf, or would you prefer to polymorph one of us?
I can't polymorph one of you, so I'll do it. I can do it.
Cool.
And I can also cast Pass Without Trace on you, so that you have an eye, while you're in whatever creature you decide to be, you can be a little sneakier.
Okay.
Nice.
What do you think, Kaz?
Sorry, what's the question?
Do you think this is a good idea, and what are your priorities in this town?
Yeah, I think we're on the right track. The only other thing I was thinking about was our, trying to sell a boat, but I think that's probably going to happen after everything else.
Could. I mean, it's not certainly not here yet.
Yeah, it's not here yet, so that's right.
Well, you don't know. You haven't been to the styes. You just know of that.
If
Right,
the boat's here, then our crew's here. And the rest.
And have we
the other
mentioned trying to track down Victor also?
Yeah.
Okay.
He apparently frequently goes into the tavern. So.
Okay, cool.
If
Sorry,
we
I was
end-
distracted by lists.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we head to the styes real quick first, and then let's go and deal with the tree and get a leaf, and then let's head to the catacombs after a little bit of shopping.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We have thumbs up from everybody. Dylan, you too?
Yeah. Okay, I'm very sorry. I was mesmerized by all the shiny things in the.
Cool. Okay, so
So-
Gabby, we're gonna head down to the styes as a group and see if our ship is there.
Okay.
And so yeah, by the way, Karn will also mention the portents of doom come from the castle in case y'all were curious.
Okay, so
Awesome.
the guy's name is Master Refrum. Yeah, you're not really sure where he is. But as you approach the styes, you can see that it's actually blocked off, and there's like a large portcullis with guards sort of like standing in front of the portcullis.
Around the sty, getting into that district.
So it seems like it's been partitioned off from the rest of the city, with some sort of there's like a wall. There's like a wall that is dividing the styes from the rest of the city with a portcullis, dividing it.
I mean, I'd be into just like misty stepping like from one side to the other into that neighborhood and just like not dealing with guards or anything.
Be nice, but then again, we also might not really need to do that. Just ask him,
All right.
you could misty step if you want to misty step and like.
No. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons. We're magical creatures. We can do all this epic shit. Let's just go up and ask them. Yeah.
Truly. Wait, that's literally how we got it.
No. I much prefer to do the mundane way. Let's do that.
Cool. Copy. I'm gonna go up to if there are guards, which I'm assuming there are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask why passage is blocked.
And the guards basically say, well, because for legal reasons we cannot allow anyone to enter or leave until we figure out what is going on.
No, what's going on? So no one can access the docks in the city.
It's under investigation currently. And
do you know how long this might take?
Well, the full-on investigation began 4 or 5 days ago. In the next couple of days, we hope to open it back up, but we really can't promise that. If there's another murder,
I see.
we do have to make sure that everyone's safe.
Thank you for your time.
Yes.
I return to the roof and I say, now we can misty step our way. There's no other way. So we could either pass around the spider climbing dagger, y'all, and just like, or we could do something else. But either way, it doesn't look like anyone's going in or out through the front gate.
Or we could put this off till later too, and do this after we kill Dracula.
Could. Honestly, I'm leaning towards that. It's not something that has a. Yeah, leaving it till later. Honestly, we're just trying to chew up time until the end of the session. So.
Yeah.
You guys just want to go for the leaf and then kind of call it. Go for the leaf and then go shopping.
Yeah, and then like we can do like shopping like outside of session hours probably.
Yeah. That's kind of what I want to do from now on.
Cool.
So
You don't have to
basically,
go till 5.
No one take that amulet of health. That's all I'm saying. Okay. What was that?
So first of all, as y'all are shopping, whatnot, and you're going around looking at stuff, Kaz, you as you're passing by this place called shit. Oh no. Well, it's just called the casino. And as you're passing by this casino and you see all these people outside doing these interesting looking folks doing stuff and whatnot, you hear a performance basically, and you hear people clapping and whatnot, and something about the voice to you sounds really familiar. You can't quite place it, but you're very drawn to go you know this voice, you've heard this voice before, but you can't quite place can't quite place who it is. And it's like someone that's singing. They're singing like a song. And I'm assuming you go and like check it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you go and check it out, we're gonna.
I have a guess.
What's that?
Said I have a guess, but go ahead.
Do you have a guess?
I mean, I do. Kaz doesn't.
I have a
Oh,
guess as well, having read your backstory.
Oh well. All right.
Oh really?
Anyway,
What's your guess?
who, me?
Who you?
Or-
Yes.
I was guessing it might be Ariel.
Oh, Ariel Sharp. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's not Ariel Sharp. Basically, we're gonna go back in time where young little Kaz is in Kaimal.
Mm-hmm.
And you can sort of see in this city, maybe this is, I don't know if you just got to the city or if you've grown up here. I don't fully remember what your backstory is in that regard. But you can see that they're in this gambling town, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of other characters of your race. Not a lot, but like more so than most cities. And they are very much sort of the quintessential what people would expect of your race. They're very
stereotypical,
like, sneaky. They're very poor. They're very like they're very mean.
Petty.
You know, they're very petty. Yeah. And as you're doing your own thing, whatever you're doing in this town, at some point, you can see that there is a new person in town. This person is also a kobold, but he has sort of like pastel purple scales, and he is dressed so wonderfully nicely, and he has this beautiful brooch and tunic and fluffed shirt, and sort of this beautiful hat that he's wearing. And you can see that as he walks in, that a lot of the other people, the non-kobold people, sort of look at him and sort of are shocked and surprised and intrigued on some level. And some of them even, begin to, go and talk to him, and, sort of just exchange pleasantries or whatever. And you can't help but notice the stark difference between how he's treated and how the other people of your race are treated. Like, it's quite different.
Mm-hmm.
And, on some level that intrigues you, and this other kobold, this finely dressed kobold, he makes eye contact with you, and it seems to you that he can sense something in you, and he actually approaches you, and as he comes closer, you feel a little nervous on some level, because you've never really seen someone of your race look like this before. It's like really new and different for you.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at you and he says, "Oh, my boy. Well, why gawk at me?" And he smiles and he says, "Do you not? Have you not seen someone like me before?"
Not the way that you look.
Of course you haven't. And he bends down and he extends his hand. He says, "My name is Lucio. What might I call you?"
Let's see. I'm trying to decide if I'm at the point where I'm like,
I don't know.
Constructed my whole like story or not.
He says
you can call me Kaz.
And he says, "Kaz? Well, it doesn't seem like a name one of our race would be born with."
That was the idea.
And he cocks his head and he says, Do you not Do you not wish to be a kobold?
Do I wish to be like them? No, I do not.
Oh, boy, Kaz, we do have something in common. Were you not able to see how well and wonderful this town treated me? Because I respected myself, therefore I gained respect, young Kaz.
Seems a rare ability.
And he
In
says,
our times.
Kaz, would you come with a walk for me? With me, excuse me.
All
And
right.
he says, dear Kaz, you look at the other sad little creatures of our race, and you realize that they're all the same. They go through life so sad, so pathetic, and so unworthy that in order to get what they want, they need to steal, they need to cheat. In fact, Kaz, in my experience, one of the best ways to get what you want is to make everyone you meet fall in love with you. And they just give it to you, and you don't have to take it. Wouldn't you agree, Kaz, that sounds easier and more, let's just say, enjoyable?
It hadn't occurred to me as something one could just do.
Oh, Kaz, but you can. You see, someone taught me that if I was to get ahead in the world, I had to understand that I must be a part of it, and I don't need to be what I'm born with. And you know what's ironic, dear Kaz? That our limitations are our greatest asset. Because you see, when people see me, a kobold, the same race as those pathetic, unworthy creatures,
They underestimate you.
me, but they see me dressed so profoundly beautiful. They're intrigued. And they respect me. Now, young Kaz. And he looks at your face and he says, have you ever taken care of your scales? By the looks of it,
In what way?
I'd say no. Now, Kaz.
I mean, I don't have a lot of money for
Kaz, don't worry
fancy
about
treatments.
It. Don't worry about it. And he basically sits you down. He grabs something out of his backpack, and it's this little tub. And he takes first he sort of he finds a well and wets a cloth and sort of wipes your face off. And then he takes out this cream and he puts a cream on your face.
It's like polish.
and he rubs it in. He rubs it in. And then he rubs it on himself too. And you can see on him that now his scales, they seem to reflect, almost like a disco ball. And he says, no, Kaz, the most important lesson that I will ever teach you is this. One must not glow for the gods. One must glow greater than the gods. Do you not agree?
I suppose so.
Very well. And then he says, Kaz, sometimes the best way to learn something is to be thrown in the middle of it. And he grabs your hand and he pulls you sort of to this town center. And he has a lute on his back, by the way. And he grabs out his lute and he says, right, Kaz. Now, I can tell you've got something in you. Now, what I'd like for you to do is to create a spellbinding performance with me. One worthy of merit and legendary appeal. Now, if you mess it up, it's quite all right. But just know that you can do it if you put your mind to it. So he begins to play his lute, and you just kind of have to improvise. So why don't you go ahead, and you can use your stats right now, but just give me a performance check, but with disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you okay. Yeah, so you perform, it's not very good. People sort of stand around because it's something to listen to, but it's not really something that is memorable. And he says, after it, he says, "Oh, well, dear, that was a bit rough. But as they say, you've got to start somewhere, Kaz. Now, my dear boy, I do plan on being here for just a little over a month. If you like, I can show you my ways and take you under my wing and tell you how to be the most beautiful, effervescent creature the world has ever seen. Would you like that, young Kaz?"
I wouldn't say no.
Okay, so basically, you hang out with him for a month or so, and you kind of glean a lot of your inspiration.
A month?
Or ish, yeah, ish.
How long are we here, dude?
No. Anyway,
No. This is flashback.
This is the flashback.
flashback.
This is the flashback.
And then immediately I get sold to slavery.
So then,
things happen.
so then we're back in Whitestone in the current time, and you can see this performer, and it is indeed this Lucio character, and he's dressed very well, and he's singing, and he's singing, but it's like something isn't quite there. He just sort of sings. It seems like he's ad-libbing the words, and then afterwards, people just sort of like
He's lost his mojo.
like half clap, and then someone says, "Oh, he used to be really, really great, but I don't know. I suppose there's better people nowadays." And people just walk off, and he sort of just slumps over and sort of walks off stage. But you see him, do all this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
And this is inside the casino.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'll trail him or follow him.
Okay. At some point, because most people have left, he turns around and he spots you, and he cocks his head and he says, "Oh, huh." And he walks a little bit closer and he puts some glasses on. He says, "Yes, is that you?" And he sort of looks you. He kind of like looks you up and down, and he says, "Oh, hi. Where in the world have you been?"
Well, I got to see the world, and became a pirate along the way, but a fabulous one, of course.
And he runs and he gives you a big hug, and he says,
I'm not sure to be pleased that you recognize me or not.
and he
I
says,
was hoping to.
He says, "Kaz, when was the last time you had a bath?"
Oh, well, we did just get into town.
You just came out of the ocean, man.
And
There's no baths in the B&B?
He's, I don't know. I guess not.
All right.
Or if they're to pay for it.
And he says, "I simply cannot stand the sight of this." He grabs your hand. He sort of like he pulls you upstairs, and he basically starts taking off your clothes. And he like
VIP.
And he basically like pushes you into like some cold soapy water, and starts bathing you, and like cleans you up and like cleans your clothes, cleans like the blood off your clothes and stuff. And after a few hours, you're looking really great and nice. And he says, "Oh, there, much better, Kaz. Can't believe you're walking around like that after everything I taught you, but it's okay."
Well, I've had to find my own way. Though I didn't forget everything you taught me.
And he says, "Don't we all, Kaz?" And he looks at you and he starts touching some of your weapons and he says, Did you learn how to fight with these?
Yeah, I'm a dab hand with a rapier.
Ooh. And if I remember correctly, Kaz, weren't you a bit stealthy for your age when you were younger?
I did have to sneak through the alleys of Kamal
Kaz,
in my younger days, of course.
let me run something by you if you don't mind. You see,
All right.
as you probably could tell, I guess I'm not really able to make much of a living anymore doing what I always wanted to do, which was to be a star.
Mm.
As you can see, that's quite the problem for me. I'm not sure how much longer, Kaz, I'll be able to live right above the casino. But you see, Kaz, one thing I didn't tell you is that even though we are kobolds, sometimes it's nice to use our limitations to our best advantage. Sometimes we must revert to our primal nature. Because do you agree that sometimes you must bite the hand that feeds you in order to get ahead? Would you not agree with that, Kaz?
I've been in some situations, yeah.
We are an opportunistic race at heart. And even though I try not to, sometimes we must do that. So you see, Kaz, if I tell you something, can you promise me you'll keep it as a secret?
Sure.
You're wonderful. Kaz, you see, the owner of this casino has quite a lot of money. Now, Kaz, unfortunately, I do know quite a bit about this owner's reputation. And Kaz, I wish to become the owner of this casino. Do you think you could help me with that? If some slightly nefarious processes were involved.
I think so, and I think I might even have some friends that could help with the
Whoa.
operation.
Oh, wonderful, Kaz. So you see, Kaz, here's a deal that I could make you. So basically, I don't want to kill this owner. That would be horrible. I just want to defame him a bit, so that he gets ousted by the public. So you could orchestrate that would be just lovely. Because I have been at this casino for the last 10 years or so. So it would be my natural stepping stone to take it. But you see, Kaz, this owner has a very powerful ring, Kaz. A ring that is supposed to grant wishes. And so, Kaz, if you help me with that, and acquire that ring, Kaz, you can keep the ring for helping me. How does that sound to you, Kaz?
Hey, Kaz.
I mean, I'd like a little more information about the owners before I commit, but I think
Kaz,
we can probably.
You see, the owner doesn't really have much of, shall we say, a name. He's more of a nickname. He's simply known as the Bullfrog.
Okay.
No one knows what
doesn't strike a lot of. It doesn't make much of an
He's a bit
impression.
of a, shall we say, contestant.
Hey,
what?
shit.
Just be a little careful. Just be a little careful dealing with him. So if you can defame him in a way that doesn't point back to you, or frame someone else, all the better.
Okay.
Well, Kaz, it was wonderful to see you again. How long are you staying in Whitestone for?
I'm not sure. We have a fair amount of business, so could be some time.
Well, Kaz, if you'd ever like to try your hand at reinvigorating my performances, I can show you some help in the meantime. But let me know once you begin your process, and if I can help in any way.
Okay, I'll check back in with you later.
Kaz, you're enchanting. He grabs your hand and he kisses it. He says, "Don't be a stranger."
All right.
And he sort of like shuffles you out and shuts the door.
All right, that was an
Why do you
experience.
smell so
That was
nice?
neat.
Where did Kaz go?
Why do you smell so nice? Where have you been?
I've done I always smell like this.
Okay. All right. So then we're just gonna do like 5 more minutes, then we're gonna wrap up. So basically, yeah, everyone's shopping and doing their thing. And then at some point, whenever you guys are all back together, done shopping, because hopefully by next session you can figure out everything you're shopping for or everything you're purchasing.
Please post in the group chat, BT Dubs.
What's that?
Please post in the group chat, BT Dubs. So we don't have multiple people
Or
the same
whatever
thing.
you're interested in.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, so basically, you can one of you, I don't know who, you can choose. I suppose we'll do a random.
Oh boy.
Dylan, pick a number 1 through 5.
I like 3.
Okay, Rove. You see, of all people, you spot randomly someone with a bunch of jewels on their wrist, and as you look up, and you see long blonde hair, and you can see it's Langley.
That son of a bitch!
I knew it. I knew it.
He's a bit far from you. In fact, he's kind of on the road. He's talking to someone on the road leading up to the castle. And as you get a little closer, you can see he's talking to this Icarus Vane character, and they're both really close, and they're talking hush hush. And then you can see Icarus Vane pass him something and sort of like look around to see if anyone saw him pass something to Langley.
Can I use my blue lenses while I'm doing this, Gabi?
Oh yes, you can. Okay.
Yes.
So you can see that he passes to Langley. What looks to be a dark black spherical object.
That little piece of shit.
And then you can see Langley get on a horse, and he begins to trot up towards the castle.
Hunter's mark, that bitch.
And that is where we'll end our adventure.
Alright.
BT Dubs, you trusted this dude, Nathan. Speaking of divulging information, trust.
Nathan did not trust him.
Nathan
Ruark was like, that was his homie.
Just for the record, say it.
We don't know. Maybe there's, we don't know.
Right, because